All right, little delayed. I just had a coughing fit. I know that's interesting. I just want to keep you guys interested. Let me actually post about this. I did not post that I was going live, but it's Sunday, and that means it's time for the Sunday night live stream. So here we go. And I'm still trying not to cough. But I'm not dropping out of the race, folks. That's the number one most important part of this. Let me post. How you folks doing on this lovely Sunday night? Huh? Diosa, what up? Deuce, what up? Golden State Warriors. Um, Blake Snell said the Giants didn't even reach out to him. Is that true? Is that true? That would change some of my perception about what happened for sure. But I don't know. Um, posting. Sorry, folks. I should have did this beforehand. Thought I learned my lesson. I apparently didn't. But once this little coughing fit goes away, dude, I'm getting hyped. I've been sleeping so terribly, so I'm trying to find my energy. But I do have a Dr. Pepper Blackberry Zero Sugar, so I'm not sponsored, but it can be. Business email in the description. It's gonna bring me back to life, baby. Because I'm in Vegas, baby. I'm in Vegas. Here we go. Post that. Got a new phone. Right guy, what up? Bay Aviation, what up? Warriors winning the chip. We're gonna be championship, dude. We're gonna be championship. That's it. That's it. That's all, dude. There's no other way, two ways about it. The Warriors are your 2025 NBA World Champions. Okay? Draymond called it, and we know he's never wrong. We're gonna be championship, and that's it. We're gonna be championship, and you know, I can't wait. I just can't wait. We'll talk about some fan fest stuff, and then I just have a grab bag of just stuff to show you, and we'll yap about um a bunch of things I've saved that I wanted to show off. When I get back home, I was home last night, so I went home for 24 hours just to do fan fest, which we'll talk about. Um, Man, I got so much cool show and tell stuff, but obviously I don't have it with me now because I'm back in Vegas. So when I get home, a lot of cool stuff. Okay, a lot of cool stuff. Um, looks good. How are you guys doing though? Most importantly, dude. Most importantly, how are you guys doing? Um, Man, I don't know why. Everything was fine, and then as soon as I was about to hit go live, it just this coughing fit hit me. You know, I mean, what's that all about? I didn't do anything today. I got home, not home. I got back to my hotel last night, and haven't done anything. Starting a new job Thursday. Good luck, dude. Bay Area throwbacks in the house. Where should we start? Where should we start? I'll start with FanFest. So, um, I flew back NFL moves earlier today. I saw some of them. Uh, yeah, let's go over that in a little bit too after FanFest. I got some cool jerseys to show you guys too. Um, so yeah, I had been planning. I'd been planning this video, a version of this video for like 3 years, right? That's more about ballparks and the history of ballparks and whatnot. And I figured FanFest would be the best time to film a lot of it because you have access, right? You can just kind of wander. There's no game going on. You have more access than normal. You can go to the clubhouses, the dugout. all that stuff. So I was like, you know what? I'll do it at FanFest finally this year. I planned out. Um, but then I got sent to Vegas, and so luckily found a flight. Just a quick 24-hour turnaround flight, but it was enough where I could go to FanFest at Oracle Park and hopefully film the video that I wanted to film. Now, what happened was it last week? They they announced all the changes, or like they're renovating the Coke bottle in right field, um, stuff like that. So I was just like, man, I hope it's finished, because I want to do a video about the ballpark. I don't want the ballpark to be under construction while I'm doing the video about the ballpark. And basically, just to keep it simple, the idea for the video is like a historical guide to Oracle Park, and then I was gonna connect it to other ballparks. It's this thing I've been planning for like years, and sometimes when I do different videos, I like to do different styles just to kind of challenge myself. And sometimes it's really subtle things, so it's not anything I expect people to notice, but it's something that I want to work on. And this was Bill Burr, my favorite comedian. I'm sure a lot of you guys like Bill Burr. He talked about on his podcast a very long time ago, but he said with like every special, every hour he works on, every comedy hour he works on, he likes to challenge himself with something he thinks he's not very good at. So there was one special he did where he ended it where he's having a one-way conversation with his son. He didn't have a son, but he was saying if I had a son, this is how some of these conversations would go. And he said he did that. That was like he had never done comedy. That was like like he's having a conversation and the audience is listening in on the conversation. So just little things like that he'll challenge himself with. And I'm just saying that to say that this video I wanted to do almost like a TV show um guide. It's hard to explain. I can't think of the right terminology, but basically like um kind of a walkthrough of some of this stuff. And yeah, so I figured FanFest would be the perfect time. I got to FanFest. Oh, here's one thing I did. I parked far away. I took a Waymo, and then I noticed there was a ton of parking, and I had to get to the airport after and all that. So I was like, you know what? I took the Waymo back, got my car, came back, and paid for parking, which was too much. But I wasted a bunch of time in the morning. Um, through our Discord, I met someone named Sophia. It's Drew's friend, if you guys know Drew. And she had saved me a spot in line near the front, which was cool. But then they yanked me out of line because of my backpack. And you know how that made me feel, right? Not happy. Oh, so the first thing is I park and I walk, and all the construction in the new buildings by Oracle Park, from the parking lot, you can no longer see the ballpark, which you used to be able to, but now there's all these tall buildings that are basically in what was the front of the parking lot. So I walk around the corner. I'm gonna go film Willie McCovey's statue in McCovey Cove. And guess what? Construction fences all over. So the statue is still available, but everything around it is ugly as sin. Ugly as sin because of construction. So I'm like, okay, that's gonna be one thing I'm gonna have to come back and film at a different time. Because one part of the video was gonna be about the various statues and the Hall of Famers, the Wall of Fame, all that stuff. And then as I start to walk over to the bridge, I look and I see the Coke bottle still covered in scaffolding. So the whole beautiful ballpark shot was not going to be possible. So I was like, okay. At this point, my video idea, it's getting whittled away, right? We're just shaving off pieces I'm gonna have to go back and film later. And I'm like, you know what? Let me at least film some of the stuff that I don't have access to on normal days. So club level, don't have access to unless you have a club level ticket, which are often more expensive. So I was like, I could knock out club level and then I don't have to worry about getting a club level ticket. And I was thinking if there's anything in the clubhouse I want to do, and I would love to do an intro or something on the field, just because obviously that's cool. And man, all right, everything just went wrong. Okay, everything went wrong. What are you guys talking about? What up, JD? Took this since the Warriors won last night. Warriors are on a roll, baby. Seahawks are gonna have a top five pick next year. Good luck. What's up, Richard? That's what I'm talking about now. What's up, Ruben? We're doing it live. So I had this big plan for this big video. I mean, I flew back home on a 24-hour trip just to do this video. That's how much I've been wanting to do this video for literally at least 3 years, maybe not, maybe even more than that. But before I'm even in the ballpark, I see all this stuff that I'm not going to be able to film. So I'm like, okay. And then they yanked me out of line because of my backpack. And some people I was with, like, literally texted me, is like, they just let someone in with like your same exact backpack. I'm like, so I'm walking around. I'm like, let me just try a different gate and just see. Um, and there was this one guy. I was like, oh, hey, can I jump in with you? He said no. I was like, all right, I respect it. He just thought I was someone trying to cut. I'm like, no, I just got bumped out. So really, I'm supposed to be ahead of you. I'm just trying to move back a little bit so I can try again. But so the line was stupid long, so I had to navigate that. But luckily, this is what I found out. Since I was going straight to the airport after I was possibly having time to go home, but I didn't know that. So I kind of brought everything I needed to bring. I had my medication. So luckily they will let you in with stuff if you have medication. So I had my medication and they finally let me in with my backpack. Um and I go to club level, and for whatever reason, more than any other years, club level was packed. Like all the displays, if you guys have ever been in there, there's a whole section of memorabilia displays. It's packed with people. Um, yeah, it's I don't know, it was crazy in there. And they had this was what was annoying as a Giants fan, okay? This is what annoyed me. Back there, it's a small space. It's not a huge space. They had these tables set up with a whole bunch of wineries. It was like Sonoma. I forgot the wineries that were there. Well, they had a whole bunch of wineries and they're doing like wine tasting. That was like the most packed area of the park. I'm like, you guys are not doing anything to help our reputation as the wine and cheese crowd. I don't know why it irritated me. Don't go to Giants Fan Fest, go wine tasting. I'm so angry about that. And it's the most packed thing. And they put it in the most confined place. And I wanted to film right there, so they it's just yeah. Um, but I wanted to try to film, so I actually mic'd myself up. I had a lapel mic, not this one, but I had a lapel mic that clipped in. I routed the wire through my shirt down to the receiver. I did all the things. And then before I even knew it, the receiver falls off, the little wind thing disappeared. I hadn't even done anything yet, and I'm already like losing stuff. And it's just crowd, just shoulder to shoulder people. And the fact that so the Coke bottle was under construction, and they had the whole arcade, the whole entire arcade, all the way behind center field, all the way through left field. The whole section was unavailable. You couldn't get to it. And that there was a whole bunch of stuff that was kind of the main stuff I was gonna film. I mean, You got the cable car, you got the candlestick seats, you got the little bobblehead wall. There's all kinds of cool stuff there, and it was all blocked off. And I kind of just decided there, I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna do the video. And so I filmed some stuff just to have like B-roll for later. So when I finally do the video, I'll have some extra shots to use. There was also the fact that in the club level that I was talking about that usually has like a ton of memorabilia, it rotates. I don't know how often. I don't know if it's once a year or what, because I feel like I saw some for a couple years, but I don't know. But this time, most of it was careers after baseball. So it was showing Giants players that went on to have other careers. So there was a couple like sheriff's deputies and um oh, did you guys know Specs Kelby Tomlinson is an optician now? How crazy is that? Like legit. Like I guess he just rocked with the thing. I don't know. That was his thing and he's rocked with it. Um and then what it had Moonlight Graham. It had all these old Giants players that went on to have other careers outside of baseball after, which was really it was interesting. I enjoyed it, but like for a video that's supposed to be a guide, it just didn't that kind of didn't feel right. Like I wanted it to be like it used to be with it was like memorabilia. Like they used to have like one of Barry Bonds' bats. They had I want to say they had a JT Snow bat from the World Series. They used to have just more memorabilia, not like an exhibition. Speaking of JT Snow was there, so I got to meet JT Snow briefly. I've met him before, but still just such a thrill to see, someone who I love so much growing up. Um, and I guess Sergio Romo was there, but I didn't see him. Um, and I heard Jeffrey Leonard was there, but I didn't see him either. This is my thing, man. Oh, well, I'll finish what I was saying. So I decided not to do the video, and I went into the clubhouse. If you guys have ever done it before, or it's in my video last year. If you watched my FanFest video last year, I did a whole video about FanFest, which I'm glad I did because so much has changed. Last year, when you went into the clubhouse, there was this big painting mural on the wall, and it was really cool because it had an SF that looked like it was stitched, but it was a painting. And then the wall had like all these like pictures of like great moments. All those walls were bare. It was just white walls, super boring. So I'm assuming they're adding stuff, but the whole clubhouse was all stripped down. Um, and there's construction everywhere, literally under like near the clubhouse in the bottom area. If you ever had like the really nice seats behind behind home plate, you have um you have the little like private concession area down there, and there's a tunnel. That whole tunnel, like literally there was guys there like fixing locks on some of the doors. Like there was like workers there working on the park. There was like uh wet paint signs. There's a spot where you can go down. I've shown this in my videos. There's a spot you can go down where you could watch batting practice in the batting cages. Um that was all blocked off and like under construction. So the whole ballpark is under construction, and it's really like confusing to me because what is the season less than a month away? Why are you just doing it now? I don't know. It seems so late, but maybe not. I don't know. But basically, I didn't do the video, so don't expect a video. Um, I got to meet a bunch of cool people. That was cool. What's up, Jake? I saw Jake there. Um, yeah, whole arcade was blocked. Everything was blocked, man. What's up, Jack? Dirty Harry Films is here. Kelby Thompson was my GOAT back in the day. Dude, I love Kelby. Then I just got back from Irvine. Went down there for the Roots season opener. Dude, that's cool. I saw some of the photos. It seems like there was a lot of Roots fans, which is cool. Also, I will be at the Roots home opener March 22nd. I'm flying back in that day, but I'm flying in the morning, so I will have time to get to the game, so I will be at the game. Um, But yeah, basically my whole this video I've been planning for years was foiled. Um, and look, this was by far the blandest fan fest I've ever been to. Like, it's been under construction since October. Well, what have they done? Because it's a mess. It looks like they did replace a bunch of seats behind home plate though. They're nice and bright green again because everything was faded. And it's funny because I said this last year, like it needed a refresh. Like the Coke bottle was all faded. They definitely needed a refresh. But I wish they would let me consult, dude. I would add such cool stuff there that wouldn't cost a lot of money. It would just be like a tip of the cap for the fans. But anyways, I'm a nobody. Who am I? Who am I? But if Dr. Pepper wants to sponsor me, dude, we're here. Business email in the description. I am up. I'm up. I did get the Brian Wilson bobblehead. The Brian Wilson bobblehead, I don't understand. I don't know if he was there. I didn't see him. I didn't hear about him being there. It's an unlicensed bobblehead. It has his website on it. So I don't know if he just had like a warehouse full of these and he just donated them. He's like, here, just give these away. I don't, the bobblehead makes 0 cents. Now it's free stuff, so I'll take free stuff, but it makes 0 cents. And this is my problem. Like, they started doing a fan fest tour now. Last year was the first year where they go to, what are all the cities? They go to Sacramento, Napa, San Jose. Is that those are three cities? And then they end it with the regular fan fest at Oracle Park. But the problem doing it that way is now the fan fest at Oracle Park is in March. It used to be a month earlier. So now when fan fest starts, all the players are spring training. So they had the spring training game against the Royals during the fan fest, which is kind of cool. And it was a good game. The Giants play well. But like now the players aren't there. So then they say, well, it'll be alumni. Last year there was way more alumni. This year, literally all I saw was JT Snow. And I heard rumors that Sergio Romo was there, but I never saw him. That's it? That's all the alumni you can get? That's like honestly, I feel like I don't know. Pessimistic part of me is like, are they just sabotaging it so they don't have to do it anymore because people just don't even like it? I don't know. Maybe I'm just like, shell shocked from John Fisher and all the A stuff. Because it's like, what are you guys doing, man? What are you guys doing? Um, it's just, yeah. If I had just found them somewhere in the stadium and they had been sitting for years, so they decided to give them out. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but they're literally unlicensed and they have Brian Wilson's website on it. So I'm pretty sure they're Brian Wilson's bobbleheads. You know, upgrading seats, the Coke ball is getting repainted, getting new lights, and upgrades to the clubhouse area. Cute. Josie, did you just miss everything I just said? All those things are still being done. So there's no way they've been doing that since October. Maybe the seats, but they still only replaced like two sections. The Coke bottle is still under construction. They just started it last week. The clubhouse is a mess. And all I could tell that they did was paint over everything. So it just looks like a construction area, but nothing has changed. So if they've been working on it since October, they've been doing one menial task a day. Did you see Romo, Jake? Because I uh my friend got JT Snow's autograph. I didn't get any autographs. I would have loved to get Romo's autograph on a ball, but yeah, what happened to the Summer of Cell documentary? I don't know if that's my place to really say, but they're still working on stuff, and as far as I know, something about they want to find the right distribution. That's as far as I know, and as I could speculate, and I've heard speculation, but I don't want to spread that. But yeah, basically, I don't know. There was the last game documentary had a little premiere in Oakland yesterday. That would have been cool to see. I know some of our favorite people are in that documentary. Sorry for how do you think the Giants will do this year? Um, Better than expected. I think much better than expected. I think I don't. I mean, with the Dodgers being such a powerhouse, it's hard to say. I think we might be able to beat out the Diamondbacks for second place in the division and maybe a wild card. Um, but we'll see because the Diamondbacks do have a ton of talent. So, but I think our floor is. I hope I'm not wrong about this, but I think our floor is third place. Ceiling is a strong second place. I think we're going to be much better than people think, and I feel like we'll make a lot of moves this year. I think they'll be really aggressive um, with trades and stuff, especially if we're well over 500 coming up to the trade deadline. Um, they'll be really aggressive, I think. I didn't meet Romo, unfortunately, but I watched him get interviewed. Okay, yeah, I didn't see that. I mean, dragging their feet when it comes to the upgrades. Dude, it's literally there was two guys like on their knees fixing a or like replacing a lock on a door outside the clubhouse. Like I don't know what they're doing because everything looks the same, just messed up. Um, they had a cool little section with some lockers set up, and each locker was for some of the people performing there this year. So they had like a Kendrick and SZA locker. They had a Post Malone locker. That was cool. Um, Trying to think what else. Oh, I think you guys remember what was the club level sponsor? Not American Airlines, Virgin Airlines. And when you'd go up the escalator in the middle behind home plate area, it had like the escalator that was with the purple LEDs. That's gone. So I'm wondering if that sponsorship is over. Um, I did get some cool goodies. I was gonna, I talked about this in the Discord, but I had the Willie Mays Mitchell and Ness New York throwback in my hand, and I was trying to decide if I wanted to buy it, but it's 330 bucks before tax, and I was just like, I just can't. It's like I had the money, but I was just like, I can't do it, man. So I don't know. I'm trying to decide by the beginning of the season if I want to. For some reason I feel like getting a jersey this year. I haven't really gotten too many jerseys last couple years, so I'd like a jersey for this season. Like all my jerseys are old players. I don't think I have a current player's jersey. Yeah, I don't. I have, Brandon Crawford, Gregor Blanco. I think I have a Hunter Pence. I don't have any current players, so I want a Jung Hoo Lee, and I would like the one with Korean, and I like the one that says Grandson of the Wind. I think that would be super cool. Um, I don't know. I'm trying to decide. I did get some. They had a table full of goodies. I wish I would have spent more time doing it or looking at it. I got some Dave Rigetti autographs, so I'd like to just keep those as giveaways. So if I ever do another giveaway on the live stream or whatever, I have a stack of those to give away, which is super cool. Like if you're a baseball fan, you gotta love rags. So that was cool. Some of the other autographs, it was, decent players and stuff, but nobody that was super a standout, I guess you would say. So like I thought the rags autographs would be the funnest. Um Alaskan, it was Alaskan, yeah. That's all gone. I think that sponsorship's over. The new release of the New York Willie Mays are trash. Material is trash. Thin feels fake. It felt good to me, but I don't know. You're the expert. Finally got a Debo jersey at the start of the season. Yeah, no, I just got a Debo jersey at the end of last season. That's how it goes, dude. I got a no, no. I got the Debo jersey right before he changed his number. So I got a 19, and then he changed his number to one. So it's right. before the beginning of the season. And I have a Debo shirt. That's one of my favorite shirts. It's just like found a Craw jersey at Ross for like $30. Nice. Nice. What's up, Marie? Look, otherwise FanFest was cool, man. But it's like nothing nothing presented really excited me. It was more just about being at the ballpark and seeing some people, but nothing actually presented was that great. Oh, I did see. Unfortunately, I was in a rush, so I had to just rush by. But I did see Dave Dravecki raffling stuff off. I wish I would have been able to stop there um, for a little bit longer to watch him, but that was fun. Um, but it's just like, all right. Have you guys ever gone back to like your old school, and it's just a weird, surreal feeling because it's like obviously none of the kids you grew up with are there, none of the teachers you remember are there, maybe one or two, but like I remember walking on. This is like during the summer or whatever, it's empty, but like walking on my elementary school and just being like, this is so weird because it's like you almost feel the ghosts. That's how it felt because it's like there's no players, no Kruk and Kipe. Like even the security, there was security and stuff. They weren't the regular like ushers that you normally see. Just everything felt like not the same. It just felt weird. Just felt weird. And then the fact that like it's only JT Snow, um, and now you got Aramark handling all the concessions. Just it's not a good feeling, man. And the Giants just need to get me on the council and let me fix this. Just let me fix it, dude. Trust me, those new ones are trash. Mitchell and Ness wool jersey just a few years ago were made in USA were nice. Now the wool jerseys are outsourced and are trash. Okay, all right, all right. Yes, Marie, I am back. Um, and like last year, FanFest was actually a lot of fun. I did the video. I went to the clubhouse for the first time. I've told you guys I was really, really happy because it was the first time that the anything official from the San Francisco Giants acknowledged me. They left a comment on my video. And not only that, but whatever social media intern or whatever watched the video, they actually made a joke about a joke I made in the video. So like someone from the Giants actually watched it and they commented on it from the official channel, and it just that was a big moment for me because that was the first time they had ever acknowledged me or what any work I've done. So that was super cool. And then this year it just felt like womp womp womp. Um, but maybe the construction and all that limited things. I don't know. We'll see next year. Hopefully next year's better. It's one of those things though, like I keep telling you guys, what the difference between FanFest and FansFest in Oakland is like FansFest in Oakland, since it's by the fans for the fans, there's great artists, there's like all this cool stuff, all these talented people, all these fun people, all these people that really truly love the community. Um, and the Giants got to tap into that, man. They got to tap into that. You know, the wine and cheese people that were up crowding the club level. Nah, man. Nah, get some artists. You got some space on like the warning track where you had some weird games. Put some tables, let some of the artists have some, San Francisco Giants themed artwork there. Like get some artists, get some musicians, and it's not all bad because they got like DJ Umami and stuff and all these people who do represent the Bay in a positive way. But like you got to tap into more of the culture, man. Like you got to start building culture or it's going to be completely gone. And they've already decimated it. The tech bros have already decimated it, but like there's still some there. Please tap into it, man. Please tap into it, Giants. All right? What did you get from the bag? Bag? What bag? And the Brian Wilson bobblehead is really strange. What's up, Connor? 100% agree. Feels like the old charm and connection is gone for sure. I was waiting to see you try out for the Ballers. Yeah, that's what I'm upset about. Jamie, what up? Giants Fan Fest scene. It's far more corporate. Look, this is the thing, man. Like the A's have always had like a very strong grassroots fan base. The Giants have at points, but the Giants, I mean, part of it is also because the A's were just sabotaged by their ownership, but the Giants, like most sports teams nowadays, cater to the high end crowd. Um, and because of that, it's way more corporate. And it's just like the A's though. Regardless of what the ownership does or whatever, there's incredible, tremendous, fantastic people in those organizations that are doing what they can. If you go to Giants games, like there's some ushers that have been there. They were from Candlestick. Like they have all the history in the world. They're awesome. There's still old school fans there, with scorecards. There is still underneath the surface, the Giants still do have some of that culture. And look, it's the Bay Area, man. Like the Bay Area is packed with culture, packed with artists and all this stuff. So it's still there. It's just so much harder for you to find it, and obviously it is not in the Giants' priority to bring that to the forefront like it should be. And for some of them, obviously, like I said, in the organization, there's some great people. Um, I really think bringing like DJ Umami in was great. There's a lot of good things they've done, but then you see they let go of Rennell. Terrible move. Terrible move. So I just want the Giants to not go down this path of being just a total corporate entity where you have such a luxury and a privilege of being in the Bay Area, which is so diverse and so culturally deep. The Bay Area is so culturally deep that despite multiple tech gold rushes, there's still culture there. Um, as much of it as they've tried to gentrify it and destroy it, it's still there. That's how deep and rooted it was. And so it would be nice to see the Giants, the Warriors, the 49ers, all the teams bring that to the forefront a little bit more. And the thing is, like the Giants, when they did the City Connects, they linked up with this local brand called Haven Court. I know some people that work with them. So they've done things here and there. I just for like FanFest is like, why do you not have? It's so easy. You don't have to do anything. Just have vendors in there, and they just come in and bring culture, just like Oakland Fans Fest did. It's that simple. Like you don't have to do a whole lot. Um, but and as much as I love like when the local teams bring in like Pilo and Sweetie, there's more than just them too. There's more than just E40. And dude, E40 is a god to me. Like I want him there. I'm just saying, like, it's always the same. Like, it's like a little just, I don't even know. It's just like a little tip of the cap, and that's it. And it's like you could be doing more. You could be doing more. Um, no connection to regular blue collar Bay Area people for sure. Yeah, they all the sporting events, the owner, they all want to cater to the luxury suites. You know, Giants Fan Fest bags. I didn't get a bag. If you're talking about the mystery bags, I didn't get a mystery bag. Sounds like the Giants are gatekeeping ever since they won a World Series. It's just, it's really since it's kind of like with Chase Center, same thing. They have a premier ballpark. A lot of people want to be there. Um, and it's fine if you cater to like the rich crowd, but also, you could be doing so much more for the blue collar people and the artists and whatnot. And it's like there's great artists that do really cool Giants related stuff. Just give them a table. It's that simple. They don't like they probably wouldn't even ask for anything. It'd be just like me and Gabe rolling our tables. Set some stuff up. Like you don't have to do too much to build more culture. It's really easy. It's stuff as simple as like a couple shares on social media. And seating connectors bring more light to the culture in SF and the rest of the Bay. I hope so. Love seeing Billy Joel get connected with the ballers for sure. They want to cater to Silicon Valley crowd. Yeah, for sure. So I'm a little bummed though. So I first of all, go watch Gamer Athletics channel. He got to do the tryout for the Oakland Ballers yesterday. Now, I was invited to try out for the Ballers for the I guess they call it influencers. I'm not an influencer, but you know what I mean. Um, but by the time I was asked, I'd already planned, like I said, I was planning on doing this video about Oracle Park for years. And I told myself I was going to finally finish it this year. I already had it planned out. And so I declined. And I kind of regret it. The kid made a mistake, folks. He made a mistake. I should have gone. Um, I just I don't want to call it stubbornness, but it's just like when I set a goal, I try to just like focus on that. And sometimes, every once in a while, it bites me. And I should have just I went look, FanFest was fun. I got to see a bunch of cool people. I enjoyed it. Yes, there was some disappointment in what was offered, and obviously disappointment that there was so much construction, and then huge personal disappointment because I wasn't able to do the video I wanted to do, but I still had a good time. But at the end of the day, maybe it would have been better if I would have went to the Ballers tryout, or maybe it would have been worse because I'm in really bad shape right now. Maybe I would have just blew out both my knees and exploded my ankle and ripped my shoulder out from the socket. I don't know. Because here's the thing. I I don't chill. It's like 0 or 100 with me. So if I'm gonna go try out, even as a goof, dude, I'm playing. You know what I mean? I'm playing. That's hey dude, I'm playing. Um so I'm hoping that they do it next year, and I'm hoping that I could get an invite again next year, and I will try to get in better shape so that I can actually have fun. Because to me, I have to perform well to have fun. I can't not like I'm too competitive. I'm so competitive that literally 95% of the time there's something competitive going on, I will not do it. I will just bow out because I know I'll go insane. Okay? So I'm too competitive. There's a lot of times people are like, "Oh, you want to play this? You want to do this?" No. No, because then we're not having fun. Now it's personal. Michael Jordan meme, right? Um, so because of that, maybe it's a good thing I didn't do it when I'm this out of shape because I would have just really disappointed myself and hurt myself probably very badly. And the thing is, I just got a tattoo, a big tattoo, um, around my leg. That wouldn't have been fun. I mean, I guess if I would have done it, I would have delayed the tattoo or something. I don't know. Hey, I should have just did it. I should have just did it. You know what I found? Alaska Airlines is still a sponsor of the Giants, but the club level might be getting a refresh. Gamer Athletics made the team. He's doing the same joke. Come on, finish the joke you've told 4 times. Don't know how true this is, but Silicon Valley doesn't seem to have much culture, unlike San Francisco or Oakland. It's a very complex answer. You should have went. You had nothing to lose. Gabe and Kenny looked like they had a good time. Look, I'm sure I would have had a good time. I would have hurt myself because I would have tried too hard, and I'm not ready for that. So look, next year, if it happens again next year, I'm doing it. Okay. I'm gonna stretch for a couple months leading up to it. All right. I'm gonna do good. I need a new baseball bat. I like my glove still. My glove is fine, but I need a new baseball bat. So by next year, I'll have a new baseball bat. I'll do some training. Um, yes, I know it's just a goof. It's just a gag, right? They're gonna just. I saw Gabe's video. I saw at the end. They're like, "Hey, don't quit your day job, you jamokes. You guys suck." I know that the whole the whole gimmick is that we suck. Okay, but at the same time, for myself, can't just go out there and goof off. I'm too competitive. I'll do it next year. Monkey D show. What up? You guys better invite next year if you guys do. Marie, you have to try out for the team. Sister athletics, mom athletics, the ants, all of you. Tony, come on. Padres winning the World Series this year. That's a wild thing to say. That's a wild thing to say. We're getting crazy in the chat, folks. Um, so anyways, go watch Gabe's video. The Ballers tryouts look like a lot of fun. And look, to the Ballers, if you do it again next year, I will be there. Okay? I will be there. And the video I was gonna do at Oracle Park, I will try to just do it during games this year and figure it out. You know, just try to go to games this year and figure it out. Um, yeah. Let me show you some of the stuff. What up, Shot Simple? Let me show you guys some of the stuff. I had some stuff on to show you. Since we're talking, let's keep it baseball real quick since we're talking about this. Um, yesterday or day before when I was flying back to the Bay Area, um, we talked about FanFest and stuff. So heading back to the Bay Area was the first time when I was at the airport, the first time I saw the A's logo. Let me get this up. Why is all of a sudden the browser's not working? Of course. There it is. All right. So the sphere had the A's logo on it. Um, this is from the airport when I was waiting. Um, and that day, where I'm staying right by the convention center. And they had the press conference that day to announce the Las Vegas patch. Oh, Bull Durham was good. I'm glad you liked it, dude. I'm telling you, I love that movie. I'm telling you, it's like a rom-com baseball movie. I love it. Um, so at the convention center, they announced these patches. It's going to be on all the jerseys. Um, and on the other arm, it's going to have a Sacramento patch. Just like it's so stupid. It's so dumb, man. Like sports is supposed to like connect to a community and just like for anyone from Sacramento, Las Vegas, or otherwise to just accept this and still root for this team is so lame. It's so lame, man. Now, I went off on our Discord earlier about Raiders fans and how I don't respect Raiders fans that followed the team. Um, but this is even worse. This is even worse. It's like a patch saying, "Hey, we're using you." It's like if you cheated and you just had like a patch of all the different girls you cheated with. I don't know. One more girls, she might like it, so I'm going to get her to watch it. Oh yeah, yeah, she'll probably like Bull Durham. Dude, Bull Durham is a really underrated movie, I think. It's just a really easy watch. It's fun. It's baseball related. I love Bull Durham. You must be tired of having had your monsters. You're way too calm tonight. Am I? I did just kind of wake up a little bit ago. Um, they're literally using the Las Vegas Tourism Board logo. Yeah, that so this is in connection with the tourism board. Um, now here's the thing. When I've been out here, I said this in Discord also, but they're like, even on the news, they're like not even sure if the team will be here. And the fact that the team has to announce like, "Oh, don't worry, we're coming." Like, if it was a sure thing, why is there so much like mystery, you know? Or like why does that question have to be answered or why does that statement have to be made? Um, and I told you guys I went to the Vegas Golden Knights game. I did the video. Go watch it, please. It has no views. Um, that arena, really fun arena, it sits on 16 acres. And then you're gonna build a whole baseball stadium on 9 acres? While I'm out here, Tropicana Avenue right near there is being shut down for like a week straight. So I don't know what access I'll have, but while I'm here, I'm definitely gonna go out there. I'm gonna check out the grounds and maybe even do a little video real quick just to show it. Um, Now that I'm back and we're done with the Fan Fest, all that, I'm really trying to film more while I'm out here. I've only done 2 videos since I've been here, and I've been here for 3 weeks now or something. Um, so I'm gonna try to film more. Um, Raiders fans are damn loyal. I don't think I'd be loyal at all if the team keeps moving. No, nobody should be loyal to the Raiders, and it's ridiculous they are. Okay, and that's a whole nother argument. I will destroy anyone in a debate about that. All right, so just let's just leave it alone. Okay, someone like John Fisher probably would use the Vegas logo without the tourism board's approval. I mean, maybe, but no, they are working with them. Our Raptors win it all, dude. Padres and Raptors, dude. What's going on with you? What's going on with you, dude? Where are you from? You're a Padres and Raptors fan. Oh. Anyways, this patch is stupid. I still think there's a good chance the A's get stuck in Sacramento. I gotta be honest, I know some people have some hope. I don't think the A's are coming back down to Clinton. I think that door is shut, unfortunately. Um, and I would caution any A's fans to not don't get caught up in that dream because I don't think MLB wants it. I don't think anyone wants it. I think they want to spread the markets and it sucks. It sucks. I know it sucks. I would just caution against that. My predictions is it's kind of an even split on the possibilities. Either stay in Sacramento and probably get sold and they build a new stadium in Sacramento, end up in Vegas finally, possibly in a different stadium than the one they're proposing though. Or that Portland group, that Portland group might make a push. And if you guys know me, follow this channel, I've been saying there's a chance the A's go to Portland. I've been saying that for about 6 years now. So if that happens, I'm buying a lottery ticket. No, Jake, I am on the road. That's why the thumbnail says on the road. I am in Las Vegas uh for another few weeks. Almost home, baby. Kind of like the patch. I mean, that logo is a cool logo. It's the tourism board logo. It's a cool logo, but it's the idea behind the patch is stupid. I really, really aesthetically, I love the Sacramento patch that they made with the Tower Bridge and the script. It's a beautiful patch, but the principle of it is stupid. Like, oh, you're just gonna use us for a few years? I don't know. This would be awkward if John Fisher still owning this team in Portland. No chance. No, no. If they go to Portland, John Fisher doesn't own the team. I really think John Fisher would not sell the team out of arrogance and not wanting to lose, not wanting to be wrong. And now that he finally got the team out of Oakland, I feel like there's less of that. So now if he sells the team, he can still feel like he won because he still got out of Oakland. So I think there's a chance that he would sell the team to either like Vivek or Sacramento group or the Portland group or something like that, or even another Vegas group. Um, yeah, Salt Lake City. Oh yeah, Salt Lake City is another possibility. Um, yeah, I think those are the four options. If it's outside of those four, I would be shocked. But and I think it's kind of an even split. Um, Salt Lake City, if you guys aren't aware, Salt Lake City has been making huge, huge pushes um, to try to get a major league team, even going so far as to move their minor league team, the Salt Lake Bees, out of the city hub. I can't remember exactly where, but they pushed the team out to the suburbs literally to make room for a major league team. Um, so yeah, that's a big possibility. So I think Portland group, I think might be more set up. I don't know enough about the Salt Lake City group, but the Portland group, they released their renderings for a stadium, all that. I think they're ready to pull the trigger if they're given the opportunity. So I think stay in Sacramento, make it to Vegas, possibly with a different ballpark than the one proposed. Portland, Salt Lake City. Yeah, those are the four possibilities, I think. Hey, is true that Riverside is going to have an NFL team? Never. I don't know how Salt Lake City can support three teams in the fact that it's smaller than Portland. But I don't know. They're making a push, man. And the thing is, when you when you have a team that's out there like that, there's a huge, huge region of people that it connects to. And they would basically cut into a lot of the Rockies territory, especially going eastward. There's a huge, huge gap in teams there. So yeah, there's not a ton of people, but it's a huge amount of land in different cities and states that they could potentially pull from. Um, and their MLS team, I believe, does pretty well. But look, Patch is stupid. The A's are stupid. John Fisher's stupid, and I don't like it. That's that's basically all I have to say about that. All right. Um, yeah, they were right across the street from me, and I didn't know. Well, I think it was before my flight that day. I would have gone and heckled them. Do you reckon in 20 odd years Oakland will be to the MLB what Seattle is to the NBA? I really think I really think the leagues would rather spread the markets. And so I think they want one team to cover the whole Bay Area. And I'm not saying that based on anything. I just think that's how they look at it. And I don't think that they see Oakland or the East Bay as a big enough market to want to push for it. Whereas Seattle is, I mean, you got like all of Washington, depending on the state. I mean, depending on the sport, Portland doesn't have a lot of teams. So it's like you can draw from the whole Pacific Northwest from Seattle. So not having a team there in the NBA is pretty stupid. But when it comes to Oakland, it's like in their minds, they're like, well, San Francisco's already there, and we got, multiple Southern California teams. Even though obviously it's a huge market compared to some of the other ones, I just feel like they want more market spread, but I don't know. That's just a guess. There's also the fact that, Oakland gets vilified by so many people, and it's just it's not like a sexy destination right now because of all the like political propaganda and whatnot. Now I think it's a sexy destination. Like I love culture. I love diversity and minorities. Um, but the rich white people are scared of that. So, unfortunately, the reason why Portland has gotten a team is because we're only 3 hours from Seattle. Sonic's old owner was stupid selling ownership group at Oklahoma City. Yeah, he set the team up. What do you think about the Warriors playing a couple of games back in Oakland next year? Dude, I I want that to happen so bad. So bad, dude. I would be there. I would be there no matter the cost. Dude, if I could see one more game at Oracle Arena, I'd be over the moon. New Sonics wouldn't pull fans from Portland area and Southwest. Sure, there's still an MLB team at SF. Yeah, it's just the thing is the Bay Area, the whole metro area, and all of Northern California, like there's plenty of people. I just think MLB would rather spread it. Wonder how different things would have been if the A's came to San Jose. Yeah, I don't know. But at the end of the day, Sacramento might be a good place for them, and they might end up staying. And then it would be interesting to see how Oakland A's fans would feel about it, because I know some fans, if they're not in Oakland, that's it. But some fans, I think a lot more fans would be able to deal with the move if they went to Sacramento. Um, but I don't know. We'll see, and that's obviously every fan would have their own thing. Ken Wapnick's son, yes, this is live, unfortunately. What else? I was gonna show you guys some other stuff. Yeah, see, so Gamer Athletics is Oakland or nothing. So yeah, some fans wouldn't accept it, but I think obviously a lot more fans would accept Sacramento over Vegas. Because I've heard a lot of A's fans saying they're still gonna support the team until they go to Vegas, which is interesting. I think that's just kind of like delaying the inevitable though, you know? All right, what else do we have? What else do we have that I was gonna talk about? Anyways, the patch is stupid, okay? This sphere with the A's logo is stupid. Um, Wait, MLB, trying to have more things on the west area. May see more things here around. Maybe. No. I know the Giants wouldn't allow the A's building the ballpark in San Jose. Yeah, that's a whole complex, stupid situation. Out of all the major sports leagues, SAC needs MLB. I mean, look, it would be all right. It's cool. Sacramento's not the biggest market. Um, they would have to make sure. I don't know what the territorial rights are like, but they would definitely have to push into like Reno, Carson City, down to the Central Valley and all that. They would have to do a lot of groundwork. So Gabe, who are you going to support now? Oh, that's a whole thing with Gabe. That's a big question. Getting ready for ace ball. Hope some NCAA baseball, softball games. That'd be cool. Yeah, Oakland Ballers, baby. Anyways, just look at the A's have one of the best logos, right? Just the simple A, iconic A. They've used a version of this A for over 100 years, and it just does not fit Las Vegas. This does not fit. You know, it's stupid. It's stupid. Um, John Fisher's a moron. Uh, oh, one thing that's cool. The I really like this. I kind of want to get to the airport early when I head back. Las Vegas Airport has a really cool history section. Now, more and more airports are doing this. A lot of times they used to have just like a case, but now they're actually doing like legit areas. And SFO has a full museum, which I still haven't gone into. Um, Bob Hope Airport in Burbank, California has a really cool history little walk with a lot of cool stuff. And Vegas has this awesome section. And I kind of want to get there early and do a quick little video on it. Like, look, they got this Alamo Airways. This is the what's it called? Like the emergency car. And you can see it has the emergency lights on it, right? So Alamo Airways had this car as like a as like a mascot at the Las Vegas airport for many, many years. and it was literally the like emergency response car. So if there's an emergency on the runway, they drive out in this car. And they have it on display at the airport. Like, I thought that was super cool. There's some Amelia Earhart stuff there. Like I love when airports do this. And obviously, you guys know I'm a history nerd, so I love seeing this stuff. There's all kinds of cool artifacts in there. I took pictures of a bunch of them, but like I want to go back and Bay Area Aviation, man, you like this stuff. I would eat up a video on the museum. All right, so I fly out pretty early when I leave, but if I can get there at least a couple hours early, I will try to do like a short video on this. Um, because there's super cool artifacts in here. It's not a huge area, but it's packed with information. So if I could maybe do this and then just kind of walk around the airport and then talk about the history of the airport. Um, so yeah. Didn't San Diego FC fans get in trouble for being homophobic? Yes, they did. Um, San Diego FC, I'm just mad at their aesthetics. I feel like their logo is so close to being good and it's not. The Des Moines airport has a little wall by the ticket desk with some history stuff. But it's not as cool as the one in Vegas. Well, this Vegas one I think is pretty new, and so it's beautiful. But some of those smaller airports have like a really cool little history section too. So, yeah, it's a Thunderbird. I think a 56. Hold on. Yeah, I have other pictures, but I don't have them ready. But I think it's a 56. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. But yeah, so I love that airports are definitely doing this more. If you go to the San Jose airport, uh, they don't really, I don't, not that I know of, do they have like a museum area, but they have, when you're walking, there will be sections of like old pictures of San Jose airport back in the day. It's really cool. Doing B and C gates to Las Vegas, they have a model of every plane that's flown there. All right, dude, I need, I need, I need to remember that. So I think. My flight is at like 10 a.m. If I can get there like 5 a.m. to make sure I can walk around, see everything, and film it, get some breakfast, then I'll do it. Because I also have to go to the Oakland Roots game that day. So we'll see. I'm gonna try though. Portland Airport had a massive renovation. How recently? Because I was there in 20, 2018. San Jose. Sonoma County Airport has a Peanuts character throughout. See, that's always cool when they do that. I gotta do a video at the Charles Schultz Museum. Why does Sonoma have peanut? Oh, 'cause Charles Schultz is from there. They have a museum there too. But yeah, so Las Vegas Airport, if you ever go through, I can't even tell you where this is. This is one of the airports that confuses me like crazy. I just follow the signs. But if you see this area, it's in the upper level. Super cool, worth checking out. There's a whole like military section, has guns and stuff, you know. What fella doesn't like guns, you know? What else did I find? These are cool. So, Indiana Jones at Disneyland turned 30 years old, which is crazy because I remember going on it when it came out or when it opened. They have these like tiki mugs, and they're like the guys that shoot darts at you in the ride. This is literally the grab bag section of the live stream, and I'm just gonna talk about random stuff. Okay. Been to the Peanuts Museum. Yeah, I want to do a video there, man. I wanted to do a video there for a while. Yeah, so if someone finds these tiki mugs, let me know, dude. I need these tiki mugs. I'll be back at Disneyland in July, by the way. What else? What else? What else? Um, oh, this was just relevant. I posted this in Discord. Is the Roaring Twenties again? I think it's about time we revive Art Deco. This is my favorite aesthetic, dude. What's your guys' favorite, like, either time period or aesthetic? Because Art Deco to me can't be beat. It can't be beat. If I ever like design a house, it's gonna be Art Deco. And this is why, right here, why my channel will never be successful. I go from talking about the Oakland A's to Art Deco. Not enough people have a scatterbrained way of looking at things like I do. You know, but that's fine because it makes me happy. Mid-century modern, mid-century modern house is definitely fun. Um, yeah, it's a variety. That's right, Jenny. You know it. I like the brick old warehouse aesthetic, something like Camden Yards. That's cool too. I love bricks. I do love bricks. I do love bricks. History videos are the best. Thank you. Thank you. But to have a successful channel, you kind of have to have a niche, and I don't. So that's how I know this channel will never be successful. So, anyways, let's talk about the Cleveland Browns now. Actually, yeah, I do have some jerseys to talk about. Oh, this was funny. This was funny. Another meme I saw. What's the male version of the Stanley Cups? And it's the like baseball souvenir cup. You guys know I love my Suvi cups, you know? Little Suvi. Little Suvi, dude. Um, yeah. There's like I can think of like some of the growing up especially, some of the like late 90s cups we had that just lasted 15, 20 years, you know, from Candlestick or something. I don't think we should revive Art Deco. They'll destroy it. Good point. Good point. I love it though. It's so good. It's so good. Um, but yeah, I need to start using my souvenir cups more. I got too many, you know. Start making more milkshakes. You know what I mean? I guess Yeti is seen as masculine. I don't know. I don't know what that means. I don't know what masculine means, you know? But yeah. What else? What else? Uh oh, I also showed this in the Discord. I'm not a LeBron fan. Actually, let's talk about LeBron in a second, but redoing these Dion's and then he redid the other Dion's last year. Super cool. And I don't really like LeBron shoes. I've never owned a pair. I've never thought they were cool. I know there was times where some of them were cool and really popular. I think the LeBron South Beaches, like the probably the most hyped pair, are ugly. I think they're terrible. Um, get them out of here. But the fact that he's reaching back into the archives and like redoing these old Dion's and stuff is super cool. I like this. And think I told you guys I got a pair of Anthony Edwards, and now I don't want to wear him because I don't like that he's not trying to be a father. And I think the woman's terrible too. But like, you still had a kid, you got to be a father. I don't want to wear a deadbeat dad's shoes. I don't know the whole story though. I got to hear the story, but I don't know. Anyways, how old are you now? I am big 14. It's because you mentioned being a 90s kid. Yeah, I'm old. I don't even want to say my age because it scares me. I'm very old though. All right, and then the Providence Bruins. Look at this. They did these jerseys. Um, obviously, so it looks like Rhode Island Comic Con is the reason they have a patch, and so they did these like Ninja Turtles styled jerseys, which I thought were fun. Um, there's one glaring thing that bothers me about it though is on the side, the number patch still has a Ninja Turtle on it when it has the Bruin in the front. It's like go all the way. Don't have the Ninja Turtle and the Bruin. You gotta, I don't know. You gotta have one or the other. Can't do both. Little, and that's how I am with you as my age. You're early 40s at least if you were a 90s kid. Yeah, time flies. Yeah, these jerseys were fun. I just wanted to show them off. Yeah, I don't really like this patch is really weird too with like it's like the turtle face, but it doesn't really make sense. Um, I don't know. I like this, the world's most fearsome hockey team, with the Providence logo. And then look on the pants, they still have they have like the Bruins logo. What the Boston Bruins logo? See, they didn't do it right, but I appreciate the effort. You can't mix and match too much. You're mixing and matching too much, dude. Uh, the the Ninja Turtle C, the Captain C is pretty cool though. There's not a good shot of it, but that's cool. Yeah, I always like these though, like the themed jersey redos. Now they're ugly as hell. They're super ugly, but they're fun. Uh, feeling the age, just turned 36. Dude, time flies, man. I feel like I'm a teenager, dude. And that's what I was saying about baseball earlier. I always say this, but like in my mind, I can grab a basketball and I can cross someone up. I can Iverson crossover whoever. But if I tried it now, my whole ankle is never going to be the same. It's going to explode. My body will betray me. It's the Bruins minor league team that I I know why. I didn't think they just randomly grabbed a Boston Bruins logo and slapped it on the thigh. um yeah, they're ugly but they're fun. You know? That's all. That's all. Yep, something wrong with our generation moving forward to still feel like a teen. I don't think it's just us, man. I th- I don't know. I feel like my older family members always said that too. They're like, you know, I still feel young. It goes by fast, whatever. Um, let's go back to LeBron. Um, if you guys saw, so Ronnie James obviously is a nepo baby. Um, he's in the NBA. He's back and forth between the G League and the NBA team. Um, and it's all because LeBron basically forced it to happen. I mean, there's no other reason. He hasn't been playing good enough. He didn't play good enough in college. It's for the novelty. It's what's the word I'm trying to think of? It's a publicity stunt. That's what I'm trying to say. Um, and so Stephen A. Smith, I guess, said something about Bronny struggling, and then LeBron confronted him on the sidelines, and they had like a little disagreement. And it's just every it's like every day LeBron does something else to make me dislike him more. You know? And it's just like, man, I don't want to dislike him so much, but I do. And the thing is, LeBron is, I'll say this, no scandals, really. Like, great father, great family man. Um, for being someone at his level to have to deal with the fame and being one of the, most famous people on the planet from such a young age, he's done it phenomenally. Like he deserves all the praise for that. He's had one of the longest, you know, successful careers with sustained production and success. Like he's incredible when it comes to pure basketball talent. He's one of the greatest of all time. But to me, the reason he gets knocked down the list is the antics. He's a flopper. He pretends to be injured when things aren't going his way. He'll leave the court early. He'll yell at teammates and make them look stupid. Um, and the thing is, he'll build up teammates too, and he'll help them a lot and do great things. So he gets credit for that, but then he'll also throw teammates under the bus, and it's like, what are you doing? You know? Um, there was that one season a few years ago where the Lakers were playing really bad, and then suddenly he had like was it an ankle injury? And they were saying, oh, it's possibly season ending. It might be really bad. He might need surgery. And while he was out, the Lakers started playing really good. They went on a little run, and then they started threatening to get back into the play-in and maybe even, miss the play-in and go straight to being seeded. And all of a sudden, he miraculously is good to go. All of a sudden, he comes back. And then there's when he lost to the Warriors, and suddenly, oh, I broke my wrist or whatever. And suddenly he has a cast on his wrist, even though 32 minutes before that, he's fist bumping and everything. Like, just that with the flopping and the constantly crying to the refs and just the he's not the worst sportsmanship, but like bad sportsmanship too many times. And then add on top of that, it's like your son is a professional now. He's gonna get talked about. He's gonna get criticized. And the fact that you're acting like he's supposed to be there, he's not. And I think it's super cool seeing a father-son duo like in the NBA. I think it is cool. Sometimes I think the publicity stunts are worth it. So I'm not even hating on the publicity stunt. And plus, the Lakers love their, publicity stunt picks. They love it. So perfect team to go to. But it's like what Stephen A. Smith's not supposed to do his job. Like, what are you talking about, man? And the thing is, look, if LeBron was just straight up like Stephen A. Smith is stupid, F you, Stephen A. Smith, fine. But to like tell him like stop talking about my son, like no, that's his job, dude. That's his job. He's gonna talk about your son. It's like if anything, defend your son with facts or whatever. Like do that, but don't like try to stop someone from doing their job. Like he's somewhere somehow above everyone else. Like he can't get criticized. Like nah. And that's the thing is he is a good father. Like he's a great father. So like I totally understand wanting to defend your son, but it's like you're not entitled to special treatment, even though you've gotten it your whole life. You know, it's annoying. And LeBron fans are the most annoying fans in the world. Most annoying fans in the world. Injuries heal, yeah, but not miraculously as soon as the team all of a sudden is back in playoff contention. In the finals, he basically ignored JR. That's what I'm saying. The thing is, like, the fact that LeBron and his fans try to paint those Cleveland teams as bums is crazy. Those were great teams. That's why as soon as he went back to Cleveland, he made all these trades. He forced them to make all these trades. He got Kevin Love. If people forget, Kevin Love was a perennial MVP vote getter. Perennial MVP vote getter. And people act like he didn't even exist. You got Kyrie, one of the greatest point guards of all time. Like J.R. Smith, Amon Shumpert, they are painted like bums. They were incredible role players. They were ballers. Like it's crazy that people to defend LeBron will make these people out to be bums. It's crazy. I hate LeBron. I try to tell myself that I shouldn't hate him. And he does the BS he does. That's what I'm saying. That shot simple. I feel the same way. Player of his caliber, he has the worst sportsmanship. That's what I'm saying. I don't think Bronny did much of anything at USC. He didn't. And look, Bronny seems awesome as a person. Like, but you're gonna get criticized for basketball. That's just that's just his job. Just let it happen. And the thing is, look, when it comes to if you take out like all the context of like winning championships and how seasons go and teammates and all that. If you just took LeBron James in a vacuum, his build, his basketball talent, his basketball IQ, it's hard not to say he's the greatest of all time. But to me, he gets bumped down the list because of all the other stuff, because of the antics, because it's been more than once, dude, that suddenly when things aren't going his way, suddenly he's injured. Nobody knew about the injury. He didn't play any different. Nobody said anything, but suddenly he's wearing a cast. Like, all right. And the amount of times LeBron James is on the floor trying to sell a minuscule little foul, and he'll be like this, like, bro, it's baby stuff and it's stupid. And that's why I don't understand why LeBron fans don't see this. It's the antics are just so annoying because he's one of the greatest to ever do it. He doesn't need the antics. He doesn't need it. You know? Dude, the Cavs were really good, dude. Stop that. The Cavs were packed with talent. They were deep. They had a good bench. Like, the only thing is they dealt with injuries some of those runs. So I get that. But, like, no, they were not bums, dude. That is LeBron propaganda. The first Cavs team he brought to the finals, the first Cavs run, they were bums. They were bums. And LeBron did that. He was doing his thing. And look, the Heatles LeBron, some of those years, some of the best basketball that's ever been played. Nah, it was doing too much. He was getting personal. Possibly, I didn't actually hear what Stephen A. Smith said. So yeah, I could be wrong about that. Uh, you go back and forth with Braun and MJ. To me, there's no contest. Gonna get popped for dude. That's a conspiracy theory that's never been proven. Um, and yes, there's a lot of MJ propaganda. The thing is, he backed it up, and there was no crybaby stuff. I don't think Bronny's heart is in basketball. You think so? I mean, I feel like Bronny loves it. I I saw one thing that said that kind of seemed reasonable was like Bronny is undersized but tries to play like LeBron. I can kind of see that. If you, but I've seen him play. I mean, I haven't watched a ton of Bronny anyways, so I'm not an expert, but like I've seen him play and he's been a good facilitator. I think that would be more his role, but I don't know. Like Kobe and Jordan do this stuff. Not to this level. And I'm not talking about Kobe. Don't bring Kobe into it. I have a lot of criticisms of Kobe. Um Gabe just trolls. Gabe just trolls. Look, like I said, in a vacuum, and Akeem, I could tell you're a LeBron fan, so I don't expect you to see this in a reasonable way. Like no disrespect. For whatever reason, LeBron fans can't see this stuff. It's like it reminds me of a certain president right now that can do no wrong in some people's eyes. But look, I'll even here just to show you that this isn't just some biased thing. Steph Curry. Steph Curry is, I mean, he might be my favorite player of all time now. I never wanted to say that before. I always wanted it to be like Allen Iverson has pretty much been my favorite player of all time, but Steph is like probably won me over. There's times where Steph, not as much now because they changed the rules, but there was times where Steph would try to do the James Harden draw a foul on a three thing, and he would ignore his shot to just try to draw the foul. And we lost games because of it. It was so stupid. It was so annoying. And it's like if he would have just focused on putting up a good shot, he would have hit more shots and probably drawn more fouls than the jumping in on purpose to try to draw fouls thing. And the thing is, he wasn't as good at it as like James Harden was. So it was ridiculous. It lost us a lot of games. It was the dumbest thing. Luckily, the rules have changed and he stopped doing it. So look, if I can admit that about my favorite player, why can LeBron fans never admit that it is ridiculous that suddenly after the finals he's wearing a cast at the press conference? And then we never heard about it again. It's just, come on, man. And please tell me a time where Jordan did anything like that. Jordan was a jerk. Jordan was a jerk. I'll give you that. But he wasn't a crybaby. And look, I'm old. I watched Jordan live. This is not me just watching highlights. I watched Jordan live. We used to have WGN and all that. I watched Bulls games live. And I watched all the propaganda tapes. There's a lot of Michael Jordan propaganda. Just like LeBron. That's where LeBron and his team learned it from. And I love those propaganda tapes, like Come Fly With Me and all that. It was like every year they'd come out with this Jordan VHS that was just a straight up propaganda tape about Jordan. But the thing is, it's I'm not biased. Jordan was a jerk. He did a lot of stupid stuff, but he didn't have the crybaby antics, and that's what bothers me. And look, it bothered me when Jordan like he wouldn't be the best teammate. That was stupid. He could have built more people up instead of just like beating them down. Kobe's skeletons in the closet were pretty crazy, and they got forgotten. Like what? I mean, you talking about the girl case that had 8 different men's DNA in her? I don't know. Maybe it's harder than it. I think deep down he knows he isn't on NBA level. Maybe. Bronny seems like such a good kid though. Like he seems awesome. Like the whole family, dude. It's an awesome family. Curry says Curry is in that GOAT conversation. I agree. I didn't watch MJ, but I know he deserves respect. Yeah, I don't know, man. I love your content and respect the hell out of you, but I think you're just as biased as a Braun fan. I mean, tell me what I'm biased about. When LeBron's on, I love watching LeBron. Like I don't, I don't see anything I said that was biased. Nothing was an opinion. I can literally show you clips of him where someone went like this and he goes, oh, and he rolls around on the ground for 2 minutes to try to get the flagrant. Like now, some people will just excuse that because they'll say like, oh, that's part of the game. You got to sell it. I don't respect that though. And just like I didn't respect my favorite player, Steph Curry, trying to jump into people to draw a foul. I don't respect that either. So how is that bias? I thought Jordan, I mean, he won so much, so it's hard to say, but like they maybe would have had a better ending and all that if he didn't just beat people up and if he was like a little more empathetic to his teammates. Like I can admit these faults to even people I love. So I don't understand why LeBron fans can't. Knocking him a peg down for the antics? Dude, the antics are ridiculous. It's too much. It's all the time. He's flopping all the time. He's acting like he's hurt. Bro, the amount of times LeBron has rolled around on the ground for 2 minutes to try to get a bigger foul, a flagrant foul, or just get a breather, and then suddenly after everything's over, he's just playing like normal. I'm sorry, but if you can be playing like normal 3 minutes later, you shouldn't be rolling around on the ground. Only roll around on the ground if you're out for a month or the whole season. Ah, my throat's getting itchy. Wow, did you actually go to a Bulls game in person? I never saw Jordan in person, unfortunately. I would love that. Last Dance was a giant propaganda tape? Apparently, yeah. I mean, I think Jordan definitely had like veto power on that, so yeah. That's what some people say. It was far more physical in some ways, yeah, but nowadays everyone's so athletic. So it's just the game's just different. I don't like the like when people are like, "Oh, the 90s were better, today's better." I think they're just different eras and you got to judge them accordingly. I don't think either one was better than the other. I just to me, I don't like the way the players approach the game anymore. I mean, we talked about this, I think, with like the All-Star game. They just don't care. Um, Load management and all that. It's just, I don't really like that part of the game, but they are extremely athletic nowadays. Colorado stuff mostly, but yeah, it seems he wasn't responsible. Oh, yeah, but I mean that's off the court. I'm talking about on the court stuff. Might as well be playing soccer with all the slops. That's what I'm talking about. Look, please show me a clip of Jordan rolling around on the ground where he wasn't out for weeks at a time. He needs to enforce a flopping foul. I mean, they're supposed to now. Need a Last Dance type doc about the Warriors. I think they have one. I think they've been filming one for many years. I'm really hope so, obviously. I don't know if the 90s were better because I wasn't alive. I mean that again, I judge each era for what it is. I don't think any era is necessarily better than the other. There's definitely things I like better about certain eras, but those are all like personal opinions for the most part. Look, Akeem, I understand. And look, Gabe's trolling. Gabe loves to troll. He never has my back, right? Yeah. That's fine. He's my arch nemesis for a reason. He turned heel on me. I honestly don't think I'm biased about this. Um, because none of what I'm saying is my personal feelings, really. Like literally, I'm talking about actual things I can point out. LeBron rolling around on the ground, acting like he's incredibly hurt, and then as soon as he gets the call that he wants, suddenly he's good to go and he's playing again. I'm not rolling around on the ground unless I need to go to the hospital, you know? So if you find me a if you find me a clip of Michael Jordan rolling around on the ground for 2 minutes and then um, playing like nothing happened a couple minutes later, I will apologize. Also, I mean, I see where you're coming from. That's his generation. No, it's not only LeBron, but he's the leader of the last 20 years. It bothers me when anybody does that. Like I just told you, when Steph does it, it bothers me. When Draymond does it, it bothers me, and I love them. But LeBron is the leader of this, and he's the one who acts like he's the GOAT. So it's like you can't be, to me, you can't be the GOAT and also be a crybaby. You can't. Um, Also another criticism that LeBron fans never want to hear, and this is something you have to go back and watch the tape, and I don't have the tape. So you're gonna have to take my word for it, or don't believe me, or eventually watch it for yourself. LeBron James refuses in a lot of situations to play defense. And he's really good at hiding it, but there's so many times where he's like out on the wing and someone will drive in and he will just ignore it and let them drive in. Very seldom, very seldom will LeBron ever challenge someone on defense if he doesn't already have an advantage. And that is why he loves his chase down blocks because there's no way for him to look stupid. If he doesn't get there, he doesn't get there. Why is there almost no LeBron posters? 20 years in the game? And there was one actually recently, and I give him credit. He actually went up for it. But the reason there's not any LeBron posters is because he doesn't challenge. If there's a chance for him to look foolish or get beat, he doesn't challenge. And this is something that he's really good at hiding. Feel like it's a business decision. Um, but he will literally be right at the edge of the key and let someone drive right past him. If it's not his man, he will let them drive right past him and get an easy layup. And he's been doing this for years and years. And LeBron is, like I said, outside of any of that context, physically, basketball talent, basketball IQ, I think he probably is the best player of all time. But I still judge based on the whole picture, not just pure basketball talent. There's no reason for him to do that. Like maybe now because he's older, I get that. but he's been doing it since like the Heat, and he won't do anything to make himself possibly look stupid. So he won't challenge on defense unless he's already directly in front of someone. Um, so he'll pick and choose when to play defense. That's what I'll say. He picks and chooses when to play defense. And it's not something that's easy to see, but once you notice it and you watch you have to watch the games. You can't watch highlights. Watch the games and see the amount of times he will refuse to play defense. And look, it's a smart move because then, he's not on the highlight reel getting made to look foolish. So he made a good decision. Now, as far as careers, it's hard to say anyone's had a better career than LeBron because of the longevity. Uh, you know, so many of the records he's breaking are longevity records, which are cool. They're not the ones I think are the best records to have. It just means you played a long time. Obviously, his points per game and all that is super high. So I'm not saying LeBron sucks. I'm not saying he's not one of the greatest of all time. I'm just saying I can't call him a GOAT with all the antics, with the amount of times he refuses to play defense, with the amount of times that he'll flop around on the ground and act like he's hurt to try to get a flagrant foul. Um, the amount of times he's quit on his team, the amount of times he's left the court early. I can't do it. I'm sorry. Can't do it. And if anyone does it, if Steph did that, I would criticize him just as much. And look, every player has done stupid stuff that's able to be criticized. But much like the points record, LeBron has played a very long time and has done it a lot of times, and that's what irritates me. Um, yeah, that's all. I see. Yeah, I read that, and it's all good, bro. Like, I was also thanks for being welcome, vibing with your community. Nah, but bro, I love this. Like, there's no vitriol, there's no negative feelings. We can disagree. It's fun to me. I love the sports talk. I Nothing personal, nothing. I'm glad you're here. I mean, LeBron does have part ownership in Liverpool FC. I forgot about that. How's your week been? What's up, dude? It's been cool. I'm in Vegas. I went back for Fan Fest yesterday. We already talked about that, but yeah, it's been all right. Does LeBron hide it by blocking a shot every now and again? Yeah, but he always does chase down blocks and stuff like that. Yeah. Tatum is the best player. I don't dislike Tatum. Did I try any cool new restaurants? No, I've been stuck on teriyaki madness. It's a chain, so it's all over the country, but I don't know if we have any in the Bay Area. I'm not aware of it, but teriyaki madness, it hits. Even stuff is a product of the fact he's old as hell. No, but he's been doing that for a long time. I This year, no, I'll be honest. I barely watch any Lakers basketball this year. So no, I don't. If he's playing defense, and I know he did get kind of dunked on recently, and I was actually happy for him. I'm like, oh, he actually tried to challenge. Good. Still Braun bashing, fairly do. No, look, LeBron's one of the greatest to ever do it, dude. I don't hate him. And plus, like, the fact that I think he's such a tremendous role model. I'll accept all my criticisms because he's a great role model. And he deserves all his flowers. I just think he's not the GOAT. He's playing OG Braun level at 86. That's super cool. That's super cool. I love when LeBron plays good. Like LeBron in the finals against the Warriors, I had very few criticisms besides like he would do flopping and stuff. But like the level of play was crazy. And it's obviously I love seeing greatness. So I love seeing him play well. It's just the antics. The antics bother me. Hate it every time we beat him in the finals. He just left the court. Yeah, I've seen him leave the court early so many times. It's like, all right, come on, man. You know. Um, I won't I won't start this, but I do think Luca is the most overrated player in the league. Um, he's one of the greatest scorers of all time, but he's such a liability on defense. And his conditioning, that's a legit thing. So I don't see the Lakers going far. Is wait, what's up with LeBron's injury? Because I know he left. Is it bad? Does anyone know? I didn't see any updates. Tatum isn't even the best player on the Celtics. Jalen Brown is. Ooh, they're like a top three defense. Look, the Lakers got a lot of talent. They really do. Um, I think the Lakers also got lucky that um like they got lucky that LeBron has extended his career this long because they were almost able to do like a mini rebuild in a way with LeBron still there, which is crazy because nobody expected that. But they've been able to like, get things going and I hated it. Obviously, I hate the Lakers, so I'm not happy about it. But let's try Emmy Spaghetti, M Spaghetti, Mom Spaghetti, hot and heavy. I'm a Lakers fan, but I cannot stand LeBron. He stays on court complaining while the team has to play 4-on-5. Look, hey, even Lakers fans are saying it. I'm not crazy, dude. You loved Heat LeBron. I mean, look, he was fun to watch, but I was rooting against him. Um, look, yeah, agreed on the Luca thing. Look, watching Luca score, it's crazy, right? Like he's incredible. Oh, he's out 1 to 2 weeks. Okay, not as bad as it looked like it could have been then. Um, yeah, watching Luca score is fun. It's crazy, but it's hard for him to go deep in the playoffs with his conditioning as bad as it is. We've seen him just looking like he ran a marathon in the third quarter, deep into the playoffs, and he's a liability on defense. And but I will give Luca credit; he's gotten so much better. I think he's always been good at it, but he's at least with the Mavs, he was doing it like recently. But being a facilitator and getting those assists and like his assist numbers were really good, and I think that's what he's going to need to do. But I think to me, even though he's an incredible scorer, I really think Luca should be like the Clay Thompson of a team. I don't think you should run the team through him because I think it's just kind of a one trick pony. And I don't know, maybe he'll get over the hump though. I mean, they almost did last year, but I just see those top tier scorers, they just never win. I mean, we talk about T Mac, but T Mac played defense, but like that offensive style. I mean, T Mac, Carmelo Anthony, never won nothing. Allen Iverson, my favorite player, and he actually played good defense for an undersized guard, but it was that similar kind of offense. Um, who else? Who else? Uh, James Harden, incredible scorer, a liability on defense because he didn't want to play it, and that's what's crazy. James Harden, when he played defense, was actually pretty good, but he just didn't want to. Russell Westbrook, but I give Russell Westbrook credit because he was always hustling, even on defense, and he had like he had times where he played really really good defense, and then other times he didn't. Um, but when he's on, he's like one of the greatest to ever do it. Um, and that's Russ when he's like the triple double monster, incredible. But when they're just trying to when like who was it that would try to run? They're always trying to run the offense through him in a way that was like they tried to make him like a Harden, but he couldn't shoot. It didn't last long. When you do stuff like that, it just doesn't work. You got to have a well-rounded player, you know? You're somewhat nostalgic for the Big Three Heat. I could see that. It was an interesting time. Edwards, Tatum, and Luca. Who was or is the better 23? Michael Jordan's the best 23, of course. How did the Mavs make a deep playoff run last year? Kyrie probably helped, but he contributed. I mean, they had a lot of talent. Mavs had a lot of talent. Yeah, Kyrie played great. Between LeBron and Luca, I think they're a liability on defense. Yeah, and I think talent wise, LeBron could have won player of the year awards or at least got votes like every year, but he just wouldn't do it. And maybe he needed to like, conserve energy and all that, and that's why he's playing, in his third decade. I don't know. Peak Jordan versus peak LeBron. Who's winning? Like what, one on one? One on one, I mean, it's hard not to say LeBron, but I mean that's hard to say. And a lot of that's because of size. Talking about practice? Blazers and the Westbrook Thunder era. AI my favorite all time too, yeah. Gotta be close in age. Everybody had the AI jersey. Yeah, AI is my favorite player, bro. Come on. I got braids. I literally have an AI picture on my wall in my living room. Um, but look, they shouldn't have had to run the offense through him. But that was a lot of that was like the Sixers' fault because they did not like this those Sixers teams, they actually had a decent floor of talent, but they didn't have anyone else that was like a dagger, like AI. It's like Steph had Clay, and then he had a bunch of great role players. AI never had that second force, you know? Um, like Eric Snow. Eric Snow, Derek Coleman, dude, it was rough. It was a rough time, but AI still carried those teams, and I love them. Um, and that's another player like Carmelo, like when they were on the Nuggets. I really think Carmelo, just like I said with Luca, he should be like a third option. He should have been a third option somewhere just to be like the scorer, and he could have won some rings, but he wanted to be the star everywhere he went. And the oh, he said I'm gonna come off the bench. That moment just showed you his mentality where he just thought he was the star, and it's like that's why you don't win anything. You talk about the YouTube video, who's better, Steph Curry versus LeBron James? Um, no, I didn't talk about that. Edwards is stepbrother of Tyreek Hill. Wait, really? Is he really? Oh, by the way, shout out, man, to the All the Smoke podcast with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson. Matt Barnes, my good friend, because me and him sat on the grass together and watched Jose Canseco take batting practice. If you guys watch my video, um, now I barely talked to Matt Barnes. I talked to him for like a minute. I didn't talk to him a lot, but uh, they somehow pulled Vernon Maxwell out of the archives, and it has been the funniest stories ever. So if you haven't seen him yet, Vernon Maxwell with the All the Smoke podcast telling some of his stories is so funny, and it's like I remember Vernon Maxwell when I was a kid. Like I used to root against those Rockets teams heavy, respected the hell out of them, but rooted against them because at the time the Warriors were iffy, so I kind of it was tough. So in the playoffs, I would always want to root for either back then it was like the Magic, Penny, Shaq, and all that, and the Rockets schooled them. Um, and then the Spurs, I was like always iffy on. I love David Robinson. I love Sean Elliott, but for some reason, I never really wanted to root for the Spurs. But I liked them. It was weird. So but I always rooted against the Rockets. And even though I loved Hakeem, like he's one of my favorite players. And I like Sam Cassell a lot for some reason. But this was before social media and all that, right? So I had no idea Vernon Maxwell was as nuts as he is, and it's some of the funniest stories. So I Vernon Maxwell was great on defense. He was a great role player in the 90s. He was a beast, but like I didn't know all this about him, and you got to look up Vernon Maxwell on All the Smoke. It's so funny. So funny. He tells a story about Hakeem Olajuwon slapping him across the face. It's great. It's great. Tell me MJ isn't getting a block on LeBron going to the rack, not buying it. Maybe. It's just LeBron with the size advantage, it's tough to overcome. But obviously it's Michael Jordan. I think Michael Jordan's the GOAT. I think Michael Jordan's the GOAT. But one on one is different than a team game. Only reason I enjoyed last year finals was seeing Celtics fans boo Kyrie. The league going after AI for how he dressed was stupid, for sure. We need you to sing White Iverson one day. Dude, I was mad when Post Malone came out with that song because I was like, dang, that was me. I used to call myself White Iverson. Dude, I used to like literally used to practice Iverson's moves. Like I VHS taped um games and I would like practice his moves. And I used to do the thing with like I would take the mini basketball and I would wear gloves. And so I would like use gloves to like try to get better handles. And that's why I'm saying in my head I can cross fools up, but my body will betray me and I will lose every tendon in my legs if I try it. Because I'm old. But in my head, I can cross fools up. Billy Kim's GM, so that's probably why the Sixers team never won a championship. They never helped AI enough, you know? Some of the bonds and all the smoke clips today. Oh yeah, those are good too. You're my bro. You're my bro, dude. Sam, any relation to Howard Cosell? Wait, was that it? That was an interview or something, right? Someone said that? Reggie and the Pacers? Oh, I hated the Pacers. Oh, I hated the Pacers. What's up, Blue? You have a good week. Bro, just watched the Arco Arena Part 3 vid. So sick. Watched my only NBA game at Oracle Arena against the Hornets 2017. Sad to honestly see places like Arco with so much history go away. What's up, man? Yeah, for sure, dude. Um, Hey, at least you saw Oracle. Hopefully, we'll get another game there soon. But yeah, as I said in that video, I never got to see Arco Arena in action. So I'm so thankful I at least got to go in there and feel the ghosts, you know, and that was my intention with that video was to feel the ghosts. That's why I had like, the old clips over it and stuff like that. So yeah, man, it's like those places mean so much to people. And I don't know, it's like I get conflicted with like Arco Arena because it's like, or as an example, Arco Arena. We can't save everything. A part of me wants to, you know? Like we can't just save every building ever made. But then it's like, yeah, but LeBron debuted there. Yeah, but Michael Jordan used to battle Mitch Richmond right there. How could you demolish that? But it's like, I don't know. It's kind of like what I said before about retired jerseys. I don't like retired jersey numbers. I just think if anything, they should be retired for like 20 years, 10 years, something like that. Um, 'Cause it's like eventually there's gonna be no numbers left. And that's how I feel like if we saved everything, eventually there'd be nothing. We wouldn't build anything new. So I don't know. I'm conflicted with that stuff. But yeah, Arco was super cool, man. Thank you for watching the video. I'm shocked to learn my mom, who's a big basketball fan, doesn't know who Muggsy Bogues is. Who Muggsy Bogues, the first NBA game I ever went to was Warriors Hornets. Muggsy Bogues, Larry Johnson, Alonzo Mourning, they destroyed us. They beat us in the 90s. They beat us by like 35. Our team was rough at the time. The only player playing that game was Sprewell. And I mentioned this in the Ricky Henderson video that I just did recently, actually. Like Latrell Sprewell went on a fast break and did his patented double tomahawk with his both his legs up dunk, and dude, it was like seeing Babe Ruth hit a home run to me. I was like, I couldn't believe like I got to see it because that was like my favorite. He was my Allen Iverson, Latrell Sprewell were my two favorite players as a kid, and Latrell Sprewell did that double tomahawk, and it was so cool to me. And to go to my first game and see him do it was just like, oh my God, it was the greatest. It was the greatest. And seeing Muggsy Bogues out there was super fun. And yeah, it was cool. And I want to say what was his name. I think it was Daryl Armstrong. It's Daryl something. He was on the Hornets. He caught he caught an alley oop from like I think from Muggsy Bogues from like the 3-point line. Muggsy Bogues threw it up from like the 3-point line. He caught the alley oop, and I thought that was so dope. I was wearing my Chris Webber jersey, old Oracle Arena before renovations. Uh, Would you buy a bench from the Oakland Coliseum? Um, Depends on which bench. There wasn't too many benches. Where was there benches? The old benches from like before Mount Davis? So I think the outfield was benches then, but then they didn't have too many benches. Except in the landing area, did they have benches? I can't remember. I'm I am getting candlestick seat soon, by the way. I'll show you guys when I get it. Arco Arena had a high school gym vibe, which is cool. It was really small. It was really awesome. Oh, a seat? Yes. Yes, I do want a seat. Actually, I'm trying to get a seat back from a couple places too. But I'm gonna get my candlestick seat when I get back home to the Bay. The first Blazers game was against the Mavericks. What year? Year after the Oh, so 2012. What's up, Dash? This is when Raymond Felton was a Blazer. Nobody liked him when he was here. Oh man, back when the regular alley oop was everything. Yeah, for real, man, for real. But it was like it was dope because it was from like the 3-point line. Like it was hella long, and he kind of did like a double tomahawk. I remember it was just like a violent dunk, and it was just so dope. I think it was Daryl Armstrong. Let me look it up. Hold on. Daryl Armstrong, is that right? The heck was his name? Oh yeah, Daryl Armstrong, American former basketball point guard. Is this him? I'll show you guys. Actually, I forgot I can show you my browser here. I think this is him. No, it wasn't him. He was on Orlando. Dang, who was it? All right, let's do like 1994 Charlotte Hornets. Roster. Where's the roster? Roster. Dang, I don't. Oh yeah, I saw Del Curry play too. I don't remember him doing anything, but Percy Hawkins, dude, I forgot about him. Damn, I'm not seeing who was it. 93, 94. Maybe it was 94, 95. Darren Hancock. It was Darren Hancock. Darren Hancock. Yep. Dang, he only played for 3 years. Oh no, he played for more. Played for the Spurs last. One game. Played one game for the Spurs. Uh, so he played 2 years for the Hornets. Dang, he played for three teams in '96. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So he played for the Bucks, Hawks, and the Spurs. Dang, that's crazy. And he's from Birmingham, Alabama. Shout out. Second round, 11th pick of the '94 draft. Man, that's crazy. Yep, here he is. Yep, it was sort of like this. Something like that. I don't know why I thought it was. I got him confused with Daryl Armstrong. That's random. Yeah, Darren Hancock. I wonder if what if they had that clip, dude? What if they had that clip? No, it's against the Bulls, dunking for the Hawks, dunking against Chicago. Darren Hancock Hornets. Let's see. Let's see if we can find this highlight. That would be sick. Dr. Pepper Blackberry, zero sugar, everybody. Not sponsored, but it can be. Business email in the description. All right. All right. All Bulls, all Bulls. This is only did he only play the Bulls? Or is that just the only footage that was saved because it was the Bulls era, you know? Goodell. Dude, I used to love Kendall Gill. Hornets had a lot of great players, man. Did, so they only played the Bulls, is what you're telling me? It's just one game. I guess it's just one game. Oh no, that's the Heat. Look. Oh, here's another alley-oop against the Heat, against the Lakers. Ooh. Ooh. Dude, look at that old Hawks court. How cool is that? Well, I tried. I tried. Hey, hey, I tried. Uh, I guess people didn't like him because he was out of shape, didn't put any effort. Yeah, I mean, when game I went to, the Warriors weren't very good, but did you go to any SF Spiders games? No, I did not. I wish I did. I have a Spiders shirt, and I still want to get one of their jerseys, but I did not. I did go to a San Francisco Bulls game at the Cow Palace, which was a lot of fun. And the San Francisco Bulls had great jerseys too. I actually saw, where was it? I just saw someone wearing a San Francisco Bulls jersey. It was at one of the fan fests. It might have been, I don't feel like it wasn't yesterday, but maybe it was. But yeah, I did see a San Francisco Bulls jersey recently. Um, what are the Spiders? I live in LA. Spiders was it was a hockey team. It didn't last very long. It only lasted a couple years. They actually had, when you entered Candlestick Park, the street you took off the freeway, there used to be an office building there, and it was the Spiders. They had their office there. So on the freeway, you could see the big Spiders logo. It was super cool. Um, but yeah, they don't exist anymore. Why is this Spiders? I'll show you. Doo, 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 doo. This is the Spiders. So yeah, I have one of their shirts with this logo. Pretty cool. Um, and yeah, they played. I think they played mostly at the Cow Palace. Yeah, the forgotten fiasco-filled story of the San Francisco Spiders who played at the Cow Palace. And yeah, as far as I remember, it is a crazy story of why they didn't last very long and stuff. But they had fun jerseys. Um, I still want to get one day. I think Royal Retros might have one. Ooh, I need this puck. I got some. Did I show you guys the pucks last time? I think I did. Yeah, fun logo. It was in the late 90s, I want to say, but didn't last long. And we had the Bulls. These were cool. Fun jerseys. They also played at the Cow Palace. Minor league team. Here it is at the Cow Palace. I've told you guys my whole history with the Cow Palace and how I've been trying to do a video there. And I do have footage all throughout the Cow Palace that I just haven't put out because I'm trying to let them let me in and film more. Um, one day, one day, they will let me. I believe. And if you believe it, you can achieve it. What else did I want to talk about? So yeah, 2025 planning, I guess. I keep telling you guys, but I keep getting roped in. I really do not want to only make sports videos. I know the sports is kind of the biggest thing on my channel, which is obviously a small channel regardless. I know it's a big thing. It's just I love the history stuff so much. It's what really makes me happy at the end of the day. And I love the sports stuff. Obviously, it's just way more difficult to make. It's way more difficult to pump it out on time. And I don't want to only do that. You know what I mean? And so I'm trying to figure out how to do more history stuff for 2025, but there's so much sports stuff I want to do. So I'm just like, what do I do? So it's like at the beginning of the year, it's like, two fan fests, uh, Oakland Ballers, Oakland Roots. We did the NBA All-Star game. I did a video of the Warriors game. I did all that. I want to go to the Bristol Motor Speedway baseball game. Um, I want to go to Sacramento for the A's game, cover that nonsense that they're doing up there. Like, I need to go to a Modesto Nuts game because they're going away. So it's like I don't want to just do sports, but there's always sports stuff I want to cover, and it's like it's hard. Um, but look, for the people that are here for the sports stuff, which is majority of the subscribers that I have, even though I don't know. I do urge you, please, to help me out. All I'm asking is please watch some of my history stuff too. Please. Makes me very happy. Um, I have pins also that I've been giving away, and we're selling at Fans Fest. And I'll be talking to you guys more about that. I don't have wait, where is it? Hold on. Be right back. Take a break. Take a smoke break. I'm right here though. I can still talk. Oh wait, forgot I have the microphone on, so I could still just be over here yapping. Huh? I could just be yapping, looking at my stuff. All right. I showed these at Fans Fest, but I did make my official variety pin. And here's shout out Bay Area pins for the hella faithful. But I got the variety pin there. I'm gonna do another batch, so if anyone, wants to support the channel, we got the cool little sparkly pin there. Go get your Billy B's Oakland Ballers pin from Gamer Athletics. Even though he is my arch nemesis, he is a villain. He turned heel. Go support him. Um, and then I posted this on Instagram. I showed these off for the first time. I got my samples back. I got them too late for Fans Fest, but I'm trying to figure out how I want to manufacture these, how I want to distribute them. A lot of questions still up in the air. I showed you guys the candlestick one on Instagram yesterday, but I also have these are shirts that I designed that I'm really proud of, and I want to do a whole series. But this is my Oakland Coliseum shirt. It's hard to see. It's dark. So it's a vintage kind of punk rock flyer style shirt with some of the important phrases and moments in Coliseum history. And I got the candlestick version too, and I'm gonna do some other stadiums. So keep an eye out for those. I'll be putting those out eventually. I'm trying to get the fit right. I'm trying to get everything right. I'm not trying to just do like a regular just shirt run. I'm trying to actually do kind of like a fashion piece. I'm trying to like actually manufacture it. Um, and it's for the people that know. If you know, you know. hmm Uh, but yeah, all that stuff, I'll be announcing more. Make sure you're following the Instagram, and it's always good to join the Discord. We're always talking about this stuff. We're having sports arguments, right? Um, we have all kinds of stuff in the Discord. We have rooms for collectibles. We have room for game day yapping, it's called. So any like sports yapping you want to do. We have current events. We got the variety clubhouse. We got the gamer athletics left field bleachers. We're always having fun in the Discord talking about stuff. We got memes and jokes. We got video games. We got wrestling. We got all kinds of stuff. So consider joining the Discord. It's a cool little community. Uh, one last quick one on LeBron. Why does KD cop so much flack for ring chasing, but Bron is praised? Because LeBron has a better propaganda machine behind him. Didn't the Cow Palace have agriculture auctions? Yes, they did. Seems odd having agriculture auction in the middle of a giant city. Well, it's not in the middle of a giant city. And when it was built, it was on the outskirts of the city. Sports only, forget your needs. All right, Gabe. Sports stuff ain't cheap either. Exactly. Gabe is feisty tonight. Jenny, can you please put him in his place? They can't put the kid in the box. That's what I tried to say, dude. Your video of Rosicrucian Egyptian Museum is one of my favorite videos ever. I'm glad, dude. I'm glad. Um, oh, trust us, we know. Um, Look, I went home for 24 hours yesterday, right? And look, I've been gone for a few weeks from home, other than a day and a half that I spent at home. But I've been gone for weeks. Guess what I did when I left? I set out multiple ant traps because, the ants, they're relentless. I get home the other night. Ants are getting busy, dude. The ants are getting busy. They're feasting, dude. It is Thanksgiving at my place for those ants. I don't, what do I do, dude? What do I do? I've been in my place for 4 years now, something like that. The first 3 years or whatever, the ants would show up for like a month. I would fight them, right? Put your dukes up, dude. I would fight them. They'd be gone for like a year until they came back. This past 6 months or whatever, they won't go away. Multiple traps. There's nothing for them to eat. They're literally just everywhere, just looking around, just sticking their nose in places it don't belong. And I'm gone for 3 weeks, dude, and they're still just having a ball. It's like my place is an Airbnb and they're just renting it out for a party, dude. What is going on? What is going on? So I put more traps out. I'll be back home in a couple weeks. Dude, if they're still just in there, they're just in there just having a blast. Oh, your boy's gonna be upset. Your boy's gonna be upset, dude. If they're just in there just gigging. Ants in Oregon come around this time of year. It's awful. Ugh. Did you already spray the perimeter? I have a big building, so it's like I can't really do that. And then for some reason the ants come from the backside, which is there's no opening. There's another unit on the other side. They I don't know, dude. They come from everywhere. Like I can't even there's so many entry points. I'm telling you, dude, it doesn't make sense. It's not like, oh, this is where they're coming in from and this is where they're going and they found this piece of food. They're in the bathroom, they're in my bedroom, they're in the kitchen. I think our building is built on a mega colony or something. Dude, you know how many queens I've killed? Dude, with my bare hands, I'm not proud of this, but with my bare hands, I've killed so many queens. Yeah. There's some of those little traps. Oh, I didn't think of that. I didn't just say that I put out 8 or 9 traps when I left. I didn't just say that. My whole place is covered in traps, right, guy? I got little what's it called? Paper plates to put the traps on so it's easier to clean up. They're all over the house, dude. The traps are filled with dead ants. There's dead ants everywhere. So the traps are killing them, but they just won't stop coming. They won't stop coming. And I'm losing my mind. You own a big building? I do not own a big building. No, I'm talking about the building my apartment is in. I am not rich. Have you tried the liquid ant baits? Yes. That's I yes. I have liquid ant baits all over my apartment. Okay? And we're not cool with it. We're not cool with it. Dr. Pepper Blackberry, no zero sugar, everybody. Not sponsored, but it can be. Business email in the description. So look, I'm in Vegas. I'm in Vegas right now, but the ants at my place, they're acting like they're on the strip. They're acting like they're on the strip having a blast, dude. They're going to Dre's. They're going to Wet Republic pool parties, dude. in my bathroom sink. They're seeing all the resident DJs. They're going to EDC in my kitchen, but I'm in Vegas. I guess I could get an exterminator. I just don't want, I just hate building management. I don't want to talk to anyone. I've tried, dude. Anyways, look, this is boring. I get it. I get it, you know? Hey, I get it. uh Anyways, what should I do in Vegas, folks? So I did the Vegas Golden Knights game. I did that video. I also been to the Neon Museum. I did a video at the Neon Museum. That was super cool. I'm trying to do a helicopter tour. I'm trying to go out to a ghost town that's a couple hours away. You know, you got to take them to court, get them evicted, dude. They might own the courts. There's so many. Aunt Diddy party, bro. The ants are in there like having a ball, dude. Fucking feasting, dude. It looks like it looks like an old medieval like feast where they have the table and they bring out all the things, but it's just the traps and they just love it. Maybe maybe I've used too many traps and now they're okay with it, you know? They've built up a resistance. Ugh. Circus Circus. Yeah, you're right. You've mentioned that. I should check out Circus Circus. Been to the Bellagio? Years ago. I have not been to the Bellagio on this trip. I did I walk by? No, I didn't even walk by it. But when I went to the Vegas Golden Knights game, I walked the strip a little bit, but I still haven't. I've barely gone to the strip. Um, but I think maybe sometime tomorrow, if I have any free time between work, I might go to Caesars because I heard there's a really awesome Nike store in the mall, and I haven't been in that mall. I think the last time I went to the Caesars Palace Mall, like 2011, 2010. If you've never been to that mall, it's super cool. It looks like it's outside and it looks all like, it's all Roman. Uh, have you asked a neighbor if they're getting attacked too? No, I'm beefing with the neighbors. No, well, some of the neighbors I never see them. One neighbor right next to me, they're super antisocial. Like they don't, I'll say hi and they just kind of like, it's like they're scared to even interact with humans. The people above me were beefing. Um, we've had to deal with management because me and them are beefing. And then there's nobody else to really ask. I guess I could go knock on the door on the other side, but I don't know who it is. So yeah, you seem like you get along with everybody. Um, I mean, I try. I was beefing with the neighbors here too, though. So it's apparently an issue with me. Nah, the thing is with me, I'm really nice to everybody unless if they show signs of being inconsiderate or selfish in any way, I don't bite my tongue. Um, and that's anywhere. If I'm in line for, this happened actually. If I'm in line for a sandwich and someone is rude to the person making a sandwich, I will speak up and I will tell them to stop. Um, and so at my place and here, so what happened here? There's a room above me, and it's 2 stories. So like it'll be like huge families coming. It was a family, and they had multiple kids, and the kids were running and jumping, literally late into the night, and then starting at 6 a.m. They'd be up running and jumping and blah blah blah. And so I just asked nicely, please, but they didn't speak English. Which I didn't realize at first because I saw one of the guys, like the dad or whoever, and I just said, "Hey man, please, since like 6 a.m. this morning, it's been super loud, the jumping and running, like literal running." And I'm working, I'm on call very long hours out here, so I was like, I have to like sleep when I can, so just please, and I'm really nice about it. And I don't expect to not hear any sounds, but like running and jumping at 6 a.m. doesn't seem necessary. And he just kind of looked at me when I asked him. And I was just like, and then I kind of snapped a little. I'm like, is that cool? And he's like, see. And I was like, oh, he probably didn't even understand what I said. And then the front desk, so I know them like pretty well now because I've been here a while and we're working here and all this stuff. So they mentioned it to him and they said, oh, they don't speak English, so it was really hard to like communicate. And I talked to the lady and she just tried to lie to me and just say like, no, it's the floor, like it's the wood. And I'm like, no, I can hear running and jumping. And then the funniest thing, when I'm talking to her, her little boy, I mean, he's young, he starts stomping while I'm talking to her. I'm like, yeah, yeah. And my upstairs neighbors, they're the same way, just super inconsiderate. Um, power walking around at 2 in the morning and stuff that's unnecessary. And this is my thing. I try to be as reasonable as possible. If I hear sounds, I understand. We live together. You're gonna hear sounds. When they vacuum, it's super loud. It just rumbles my whole apartment. But I don't get mad because it's like you have to vacuum. I get it. I have to deal with that. There used to be a baby that would cry on the other side of my wall behind my bed. It would wake me up at like 6 in the morning crying. I didn't get upset. Didn't bother me. It's a baby. That's life. Babies cry. Not upset. But power walking around and like sounds like they're throwing stuff, so it like shakes my whole apartment and like literally my fan and light shake and rattle. That's unnecessary. And when I asked the guy before, and when he just ignores it and then still power walks, um, and then what made it worse was then he tried to report me for noise, even though I'm a quiet person. I said this on a live stream before. The only time I'm loud at my place is when I'm doing the live stream. Other than that, I'm super quiet. I'm super chill. And so he tried to report me to like be vindictive, I guess. And he reported me twice. And I wasn't even making noise. So after that, what I started doing was documenting it. So when he makes noise, I'll literally film it if I can. If not, I'll mark down the time. And so I told management that, and I was like, look, I'm documenting it. I was like, you could literally put a noise monitor in my apartment. Like, I don't make a lot of noise. Um, but he's just a vindictive jerk. So me just wanting, just asking him to actually be considerate of people around him was enough for him to try to report me and get me in trouble. So yeah, so I don't know. Maybe it's me, but I don't know. The thing is, look, I had an ex-girlfriend that lived on the second or third story of an apartment, and everywhere I went, I walked softly. I was like, no matter the time of day, if I went to the bathroom, I would walk softly just to be considerate. I didn't even know who lived below, and I still just want to be considerate. So the fact that they're so disrespectful that they're just like, I don't even care. And for a long time, I'd be gone 12 hours a day. So it's like you had 12 hours to run around, and now you choose at like 3 in the morning to run around. Um, and they would have visitors, and there's like one time there's like this little girl, and it's not the little girl's fault, it's the adult's fault. She was literally just running back and forth in the living room at like 11 at night. I'm just like, how do you guys not see that and be like, oh, hey, don't run at 11 at night when we have neighbors below us? So I just take it really like offensively, I guess, when people are like that. So that's why I get into it because I don't, I, I I just defend myself, I guess. Not that I'm always perfect, but I try to be considerate of my neighbors, and that's all. And I grew up like in my house, my mom's house. My stepdad was extremely sensitive to sound, so I had to learn to be like super quiet. Like literally, if I went to the bathroom and closed the door too loud, he would get mad. So maybe I'm overly sensitive about it, but still just like I said, if I hear regular noises of life, I get it. But you don't need to be running. You don't need to be running and jumping either, you know. Anyways, this is the most boring live stream I've ever done. Still better than Kaisenat though. So where the Golden Nugget is at? Um, like Fremont Street. I kind of talked about that a little bit in the Neon Museum episode. So yeah, maybe we'll do something like that. Um, Surprised the Golden Knights mascot is some dude dressed like Elvis. Well, they had Elvises there. On camera, you come across as one of the nicest guys ever. I mean, I try. I really try to lead with love and respect and kindness, but I also am not afraid to speak up when someone, and it's basically like when someone is inconsiderate or selfish or anything like that, it's so hard for me not to call it out. It's so hard. Why don't they have someone who's bilingual? Well, they did, but they weren't on shift, so they had to wait for him. And then they didn't listen to him anyways. Just like when I talked to him, they just tried to say I was tripping. Like, no, we're just walking. It's like, no, I can literally hear doom 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 doom. That's not walking. Anyways, I work with self-driving cars. A hotel in me should have some people who are bilingual. Yeah, yeah, they did. One thing I'm not gonna miss is when people would let their kids run through the store throwing stuff, leaving the toilet out. Oh yeah, you had to deal with that, huh? Maybe you can do a video of all the old casinos on the strip and include Circus Circus. That'd be cool. Like I would like to. Old Vegas is cool, so I definitely touch on a lot of that history in the Neon Museum episode because Old Vegas is really extremely interesting to me. It's all fair. I live on the second too, and I don't do that. That's what I'm saying, man. Like you can still live life and be respectful of your neighbors, you know? Um, and I hear they're walking and stuff all the time, and it doesn't bother me. It just bothers me when it's late at night or something, and they're just so inconsiderate. They're just like power walking around and running around. It's just like, oh, is that necessary, dude? Are you putting out a fire or what? Because I don't do that. At night, I make sure my TV is down low. Like I don't even know if they could hear it. I don't know if it could bother them, but I just don't even want to be that guy to be a burden on someone. So it's just like I think, look, I check myself all the time. I analyze myself. I'm my hardest critic, so I try my best, like be reasonable. Am I tripping? Am I the one that's wrong? And in this instance, I don't think I am. I don't think I am. And what scares me is my dad used to always beef with his neighbors. So I'm like, am I just being my dad? Like, am I just doing that? Like, but I don't think so. I think a lot of people would be more chill than me, and they would just ignore it. So maybe that's my fault is I can't just ignore it. But I just can't. I can't sit there and just let them disrespect me and not be considerate. And it again, it's not just that too. Like I've seen things outside of that shows me that the dude, it's like a whole family, but the dude, like the main guy, he is not respectful of his surroundings at all. I've seen other instances, and I don't want to elaborate, just the way he reacts or interacts outside and all that. He's not even thinking about other people. He'll make as much noise as he wants. He'll just yeah. And it's also probably a cultural thing, which is fine. I can't fault people for cultural differences, but I don't know. I'm just asking just a little respect. That's all. Little respect. Anyways, this isn't boring. This is interesting. Do you work in SF? I used to, not anymore. I work in the South Bay now. From my years in customer service, people get really defensive about their kids. Yeah, no, definitely people do. You gotta walk on eggshells when it comes to their kids. Um, if there's I'm trying to think of like examples, but I know there's times where like a kid will do something stupid. If you're at like Disneyland or something, a kid might run into you or something. Um, I always just kind of like let the parents deal with it. So I would never just like bark at a kid, but like if the parents don't say anything, I'll look at the parents be like, "Hey, hey, excuse me," like Come on. And they'll be like, oh, sorry, or whatever. I've done that before. I just can't let stuff go. That's my problem. I can't let stuff go. Maybe I should. I wish I was more chill. But here's the thing too. Certain noises, so like what my upstairs neighbor will do and what they were doing here. The family I had issues with here left, by the way. So whoever's there now, I'm fine with. It was just that family. Um, when you have like a bang and it like reverberates through a place, there's like a adrenaline kick, or it's like a fight or flight or something. Like your blood pressure like jumps up. It spikes. Your adrenaline, you're like, and I'm hypersensitive to stuff like that. So it's very irritating when I'm chilling and I'm trying to relax and then just instant adrenaline spike because it's like the lizard part of my brain is like danger, you know? And it's like when that's happening all night long, I'm just like, it gets me going. And then I used to get mad too because I had an ex-girlfriend and she kind of had like some trauma in her past, like some PTSD stuff. So sounds when they would wake her up at night, it would scare her. And my neighbor would do stuff and like bang, and it would wake her up and she'd be scared. And it's like, dude, like you can't do that. I'm not gonna allow that to happen. And that's when the beefing started actually a few years ago. That's when the beefing started because that was happening. And I was just like, bro, like you don't need to bang on the whatever the floor is. I don't know if you're dropping something. I don't know what it is, but it would be so like a big bang. And every once in a while, you're gonna drop stuff. We're humans, but like all the time, just made me think like I don't know what it is, but I don't know if you had a pair of shoes and you would just throw it. I don't know what it was. Whatever it was disrespectful. Anyways, half this live stream has been about my gripes. Is Rodney Dangerous? No respect. Story of my life. For real, man. Let too many stuff. The fact that the person there now isn't annoying you means you're not the problem. Yeah, I mean, I hope so. Some people just don't know how to live in close quarters. Yeah, and again, I think it's a cultural thing too. My apartment complex is filled with a culture that is different from mine, and I don't there's zero negativity, discrimination, prejudice, anything. I just understand the cultural differences and that I like to be a solitude person, and some of the cultures it's not like that. It's way more lots of people and social, right? So it's not that I'm right, they're wrong. It's just it doesn't mesh sometimes. Um, and so that's something I gotta just kind of be cognizant of too, right? Because I don't want to be like I'm inclusive, right? I'm inclusive. We fight against we fight against racism and we fight against white supremacy. We fight against the patriarchy, dude. We're inclusive, dude. We celebrate all. So just because I am a little different than certain cultures doesn't mean that they're wrong. But I think it is probably a cultural thing, some of it. You need to learn to let it go, and I how much I used to know. Gotta release the Cow Palace, so dude, I'm thinking about it, man. If they don't get back to me soon, dude, I'm usually very quiet. Don't usually go on to stir the pot. I mean, I'm like that too. And like with my neighbor at home, like I try to do everything to not like confront him because I know I can escalate it and I don't want to escalate it. And I don't want him and his family, I don't want them to be uncomfortable at all. I want them to be chill. I want them to be happy at home too. I'm like, just be a little more considerate. That's all. Just a little more considerate. That's all. I told them that too, the family that was here. Like, look, I want you guys to have a good trip and all that, but when I'm out here, I'm on call from 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. So like, I gotta sleep when I can, you know? You gonna hit some Roots games? Yes, I will be at the home opener, March 22nd. I still need to get tickets though. Trying to figure that out. Anything else? What else is going on? I'm out here yapping tonight, huh? This is like the old live streams. Less goofing off, but 2 hours and 40 minutes. That's how it's done, dude. That's how it's done. On Vegas, baby. I need to go get food. Does anyone know good late night food in Vegas? I know there's a ton. I actually was reading the Vegas subreddit though, and some people were saying that a lot of the good 24-hour places, they never reopened after COVID 24 hours. It's like what's White Castle's down the street, but White Castle's super mid. I don't know. I was looking for a good pizza place. I got pizza last night. I hadn't had pizza in a while and I was just craving it. And I flew in, flew back from the Bay, ordered a pizza. It was not very good. It was not very good. Um, I don't know. See, a lot of the late night food is like on the strip, so I would have to like get dressed, get to the strip, either take a Uber, take the monorail. It's just a lot. It's just a lot. And I'm not trying to go out, and I'm by myself. We should make a video of the ghost town of it. That's in the works, Andrew. Hopefully, that is in the works. Much like you, people describing as a quiet person. When we encounter people who are exact opposites, when we have a problem, normal people make normal noises. Yeah, I heard there's a really good place called something teriyaki. Dude, I can't. I'm gonna get sick of it. I'm gonna get sick of it, dude. Though some of the casinos have dope buffets. That's what I'm saying, but they're not easy to get to. Like, and a lot of the buffets aren't open late anymore. I know there used to be a great restaurant. It wasn't a buffet, but it was a great restaurant at Planet Hollywood that was like 24/7 that I used to hit all the time because it was just like it was Planet Hollywood's like a really easy right in the middle of the strip location. But from where I'm at to get to the strip is only like half a mile. But to get there, I'd have to Uber or walk and I'd have to get dressed. I'm not really dressed like it's a whole thing to get to the strip. There's no parking over there really. I mean, there is, but it's like you'd have to park and then walk, and then it's super far. It's not easy to get to. In Vegas, get a nice juicy steak. That's what the steak houses are too hard to get to. They're all hidden in a casino. You know how big the casinos are? I'm trying to get something quick and easy. Dude, just to let you know, I'm taking the highest on the Discord for some mental health. Anxiety and depression sucks. Hey man, let me know if you need to talk about anything. I've been dealing with that too, and I found some things that help. So hit me up. Um, But yeah, I don't know. I need to go get something. Like honestly, I might just be lazy and go get White Castle. There's a sushi spot that's close by that's super good. I don't think it's open late though. I don't know. I'm gonna figure it out. Actually, I should find some late night pizza, man. There's got to be good late night pizza in Vegas. There's got to be. I refuse to believe. What happened with the Tampa Bay Rays? Something happened? Last dive bar is posting about Tampa Bay Rays. Hmm. Hmm. I don't know. Anyways, look, I'm trying to do a couple things out here. I hit up the Mob Museum. They never got back to me. There's the beginnings of Las Vegas is a video I might do. The very beginnings, some good history stuff, dude. Right? Um, ever since I was discharged from the hospital, my anxiety's been really bad. Dude, hit me up on Discord, bro. I'll talk to you, bro. Love you, Art. Much respect. Do not do White Castle, bro. No, I shouldn't, but get the sushi if it's open. I'm gonna check if it's open, but I would also have to get dressed for that, which would be annoying. But I'll do it. Would you ever go back to Vegas outside of work obligations? Yeah, I love Vegas. I'm not a partier, so I don't. For me, it's not like the partying. that I like. I haven't gone to the clubs and stuff since I was young, but like there's so much to see and do. There's so many spectacles. I'm trying to see uh Omega Mart out here, the Meow Wolf place, uh Neon Museum, Mob Museum, all that kind of stuff I love. And then in the casinos there's often a lot of fun things to look at. Now, here's what I will say about Vegas that bums me out. I don't know if this is just my nostalgia talking, but when I was a kid in the 90s, Vegas tried to become family friendly. And that's when they built all the um like themed casinos, right? So like I think first was like Caesar's Palace, the Luxor, Egyptian, New York, all this stuff. Um each casino had Excalibur, it's a freaking castle. They built the theme park. Circus built their theme park. MGM Grand Adventures was there. All this stuff. So I like that kind of stuff because I like the attractions. But now like the newer casinos and hotels, they're all kind of the same. They're just trying to be fancy. It's sort of like the ballparks. They're just catering to the rich crowd. And they all kind of look the same. Their identities are very similar. So that kind of bums me out. Um, I guess the family friendly thing didn't really work out for them. I think it did. They just didn't. They just did it cheap. They started doing it cheap. But yeah. So there's like all the newer casinos and hotels. They're beautiful, absolutely beautiful. They're all kind of the same. So like, um, was it the Wynn, the Aria, the Cosmopolitan, the Encore, Fountain Blue, even like all these casinos. They're all very very similar. Um, so I kind of miss like the themed ones, you know. But yeah. In response to the Tampa Bay stuff, I gotta look it up now. What's going on? Um, could I live in Vegas? I mean, I want to live in the Bay. I only want to live in the Bay Area, but Vegas isn't too bad. Vegas is cool. I like Vegas. My grandmother was born in Vegas, so I have a slight connection. All right, I'm trying to look up what's going on. Is this live breaking news about Tampa Bay? Because I'm not seeing anything yet. Let me check. The MLB commissioner and several owners are pressuring Sternberg to sell Rays. So they're gonna bully him to sell, but let John Fisher, not even that, but give John Fisher a promotion and put him, what is he has some new position within the MLB. That's ridiculous. I just, I'm, and the Rays have had success. So what are they mad about? Really? I need to read up on this. I don't know what they're mad about. Wow. Wow. Um, I'm so confused. Rays have been, I mean, they kind of let a lot of people walk, so it's not like they've been just powerhouse, but still, they've had success. I d My fear, personal fear, this is a selfish thing. There's nothing to do with. I really want to see Tropicana Field, so I really hope they fix it and they go back there and they don't just like sell the team and move it. Vegas, Frank Sinatra in a nutshell. I love the old Vegas history. I did the Neon Museum, and I'm gonna go back and do more. I'm talking about old Vegas. How much Irish are you? I don't know. I don't know. Remember that video of Michael Jackson going crazy in the gift shop and buying all kinds of antiques? Oh, that was in Vegas? I remember that. I'd love to live in Buenos Aires or Spain or Italy. I mean, they're beautiful, beautiful places. There's just some guy out there that wants to buy the team. What does John Fisher have over Manfred? Man shower to the Sacramento Kings. For real. Oh, I got to go. I went in the visitors clubhouse at Oracle Park yesterday. So I have officially, I think, now seen every part of that ballpark. That was the last place I had not been in Oracle Park. I've been, oh, and I went into the out of town scoreboard too. So if I could go up into the scoreboard, that would be, if you count that. Otherwise, I've been everywhere. Oh no, I haven't been in the radio booth or the TV booth. I've been in the press box for print press, but not, yeah, never mind. All right, I'm not done. I still have some more stuff to see. Um, peed with the Oakland. I peed in the dugout, dude. That's super cool. Yeah, so I got some Vegas history stuff I'm trying to do. Vegas history is extremely interesting to me, and I was thinking about doing like a, flamingo video, something like that. So if I have time during the week, I'm definitely gonna try to knock those out, and then maybe next weekend try to go to a ghost town or something. Still trying to figure it out. Still trying to make sure I get the energy. I've been sleeping terribly. I almost killed myself with this anti-snoring device, and but I think I should be back now. So yeah, I'll figure it out. Oakland Fans Fest video. Look, I always feel stupid because Gabe does his videos so quick. So mine's not done yet. It's almost done. I'm trying to put it out by Tuesday, and then after that, I got the Oakland Roots coming up and stuff. But I'm trying to put out some other videos before that. I got the Disneyland videos. I got all kinds of videos that I'm working on. So we'll figure it out. There's an all Minnesota hockey hair team. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Um, and you know what would be fun? What I always want to do, but I just never have the time or dedicate the time. I would love to do videos about trails, like hiking trails. Um, if the trails have like a history attached to it. I don't want to be like a hiking trail YouTube. There's a million of those. But if there's a trail that has like a history, to go to the trail, show some of the sites, and talk about the history. So there's a couple actually in the Vegas area that seem super cool. So I don't know. Hoover Dam, I want to go check out. I've only driven across it, never really had the time to like explore the area. They do a tour? I don't know. Trying to figure that out. Um, yeah, maybe Fisher walked in on Manfred sitting on the photocopier. Look, uh, John Fisher sucks. All the owners suck. Um, I love the San Francisco Giants, but I want them to tap into the culture more. Hit me up if you need help doing that. Also, Dr. Pepper, if any of you guys are out there, business email in the description. Okay. Look, if the Giants want to try to become the Bay Area's team, if that's your goal, you're doing it. You're doing a poor job of it so far. Um, and obviously, A's fans are not going to be open to that for a very long time, anyways. But like, you might as well at least be um, embracing the culture, and you're not doing it enough. You're doing it a little, a little. It needs to be more. FanFest should have been filled with artists and locals and the culture, and it wasn't. Um, Bay Trail here is the bay is cool. It circles the whole bay. Probably some cool history too. Oh yeah, I want to do the what's his name? Was it Portola? Whoever it was. They have a trail when they first discovered Europe, the first time Europeans discovered the bay. That's a cool uh that's a cool idea I've wanted to do. But yeah. Did I tell you guys I got a new phone? Because so many places are like no cameras, so I upgraded my phone so that if I have to record on my phone. It's a thing in Minnesota where wherever high school hockey players have stuff like mullets. Oh, okay. I feel like I've seen like TikToks about that or something. What was my favorite part of FanFest? So Giants FanFest, my favorite part was I guess the people I met. Um, I met a guy outside. He called me out. He was in line and He asked me some questions about the Arco Arena video that he wanted to know. That was cool. I gave him some pins. Yeah, a couple people just, shouted me out and I took pictures with people and stuff, and that's always super cool because it's like this channel's so small, and I mean my last video has what, a couple hundred views. Like uh, I'm not a celebrity or a success in very many ways, but the fact that there's anyone out there that appreciates what I've done means a lot because I really put my heart and everything into all of this, and it means the world to me. And so to have a little recognition like that is awesome. So I definitely appreciated that. Other than that, other than the selfish stuff, I always appreciate being on the field. I got to touch the out of town scoreboard and I got to go in the visitors clubhouse. So I got to check off some new stuff, which was cool. And there's some people there. My buddy Pine was there, a lot of friends and stuff. So it was cool. And if you're talking about Oakland Fans Fest, I was very proud of my little brother for running our booth when I was running around filming, and he did a really good job. And I was really happy because someone who appreciated my mini stadiums bought the Polo Ground Stadium, and that was really cool. That was really cool. Did you see Giants $9 tickets? I did not. I think during the high school, much love, your first class. Thanks, Brian. Thank you. You've always been so supportive of me, and I really appreciate it. Wasn't the Bay discovered by Russia? I don't know. I mean, they supposedly came down, like we have Fort Ross, which was a Russian fort. I don't know about the Bay though, but it was I think it was I think it was Portola. Um, there's a whole trail that he took. I feel like there's always been some corporate stuff for sure. When the Giants renamed it to Oracle Park, they became corporate. Um, Interesting take. I feel like they were corporate long before that, but there's a lot of culture that they're missing out on that they need to tap into, you know. Been down since the bit at Preston Castle. Dude, speaking of, I think I told you guys, I went back to Preston Castle and I tried to do some more stuff, but I wasn't able to do what I wanted to do. But I do have a second Preston Castle adventure that I'm trying to do at some point. History of Lake Mead, that would be cool. That would be cool. Um, yeah, there's a lot, man. I got a long list, so hopefully, whatever I end up doing, you guys enjoy. Um, I definitely So I'm 100% I have to do a history video about the start of Las Vegas. There's a whole museum, there's a whole site, there's all this cool stuff. Um, so I need to do that, and then I would love to cover some of the other old hotels, the mid-century hotels, not the early ones like Fremont Street. I mean, I'd love to do that someday. I just don't know about this trip, but like the El Cortez is down there. It's like the oldest one. But some of the mid-century ones that, had the mob ties, like the Flamingo and even Circus Circus, which was a little later, but still kind of the seedy thing. Yeah. After the Bay was discovered by the folks that were here when the Euros got here. That's why I said discovered by the Europeans was, I think, Portola. But the Ohlone, the Miwok, all them already called the Bay home. Um, and we're unfortunately pretty much decimated. There's not much left of any of the Ohlone tribes. But I won't get too graphic here, but this is an Ohlone band. I didn't finish the California yet. Can't really see it. Didn't finish the California yet. I'm gonna fill this in. But this is an Ohlone band. Okay, so this is me showing love to the Ohlone because I was born on their land and I walk on their land, and that's why it's on my leg. And I am supposedly part Iroquois, so I've always had this love and connection for Native American stuff. But this band, this graphic, there's a painting in the Mission in San Francisco that had this graphic, and it's an Ohlone artist, so that's why I got it. And then I got the bandana too. Yeah. Anyway, sorry if that was too graphic. Hide your kids. Okay, don't let them see that. Um, 49ers get a draft QB. I don't. I mean, someone said that. I don't know if we're gonna do that. I think we're just gonna pay Brock. I don't think we're gonna go through all that again. Maybe we can do one Empire Mines Road here in Antioch. No, Jack, I've wanted to do that for a while, man. Yeah, I definitely want to. Chargers or 49ers rematch. That's in LA, right? Um, because nothing comes close to the Golden Coast. Um, yeah, so there's, look, here's what I'll tell you guys. I'm gonna die with ideas on the table. I'm never gonna be able to do all the videos I want to do. You know what I mean? So, um, but look, I hope you guys enjoy what I got. I still got a bunch of videos to put out that I filmed previously too. So I got a lot going on. You were born in Mountain View. My mom lives in Mountain View. I'm from originally Redwood City. Redwood City, born and raised. Born at Sequoia Hospital in Redwood City. Um, wait, so like past the United States, I don't really know too much about my family history, but some of my family from upstate New York, that's where we're apparently Iroquois. That's a whole documentary I've been working on. If you guys saw the prologue I did like 6 years ago. From upstate New York. My mom's side is kind of just mixed European, but my great grandfather was born in San Francisco. Um, my dad was born in Southern California. My mom was born in the same hospital as me. So I'm like on my mom's side, I'm like fourth generation, fifth generation Bay Area. And then my dad, they lived in Southern California. They lived in upstate New York. Not that any of this matters, but I'm just yapping. Thought this year was in San Fran. I don't know. I don't remember the schedule. Is that a Simpsons Matt Groening? No, I don't think so. It's just it does kind of look like the Simpsons. This is one of the shirts I got. I think I told you guys, but the Warrior store was having a sale, so I got like a whole box of shirts for like $5 a piece. So I actually sleep in this shirt. It's one of my sleep shirts. Yeah, I'm lazy today. Okay. Haven't seen your history stuff. Came for the sports. Definitely gonna watch some tonight. Hey man, I appreciate that. Like I get it because the sports stuff, like it typically gets more views and stuff and a lot more subscribers. But the history stuff is really like where my heart is at. And a lot of that also is just the stress because like doing the sports videos is super hard because I'm stressed out at the game. Obviously, I can't have any redos. If I miss something, I miss it. Like it, and you never know what's gonna happen. So it's like I don't know. Because with my sports ones, I try to tell a story, but there's not always a story. Sometimes it's just a bland game. So it's a lot of stress. But the history ones, I can just like tell a story and appreciate the site or whatever, wherever I'm at. Like, and I think it's important in this day and age right now to like really talk about history. And there's so many stories. Like we all know the big stories, but there's so many little stories everywhere, hidden everywhere, that really teach a lot of lessons and things like that. Especially in a time where it seems like teaching truthful history, some people want to outlaw it and take it out of our textbooks and stuff like that. And so I'm gonna do my part to talk about that history. And that's like I said, that's why I got an Ohlone band on my leg. So anything I do, I represent the Bay, the whole Bay, nothing but the Bay. And so if I'm talking about Bay Area history, I'm always gonna respect and consider the Ohlone and the Miwok and all that. Um, yeah, I think it's important. Ireland? Oh, that reminds me. It's not a real last name. It's a remix of my real last name that an ex-girlfriend came up with, and then I never changed it because I used to do music. Um, what was it? Oh, Ireland. So I'm a partial owner of the Ballers. I'm a partial owner of the Roots. I also just bought in to a team in Northern Ireland called the Carrick Rangers FC. I don't know why I did it. They were crowdfunding, and I said, I want to be a partial owner. of a soccer team in Northern Ireland. So I did it. Very small amount, but I did it. So now if I go to Ireland, I have a team. That was just like a few days ago too. I haven't even got all my paperwork. But now I feel like collecting teams is going to be my thing. So like and you guys know how I rally against these like billionaire owners and stuff. So anywhere I can support a crowd-funded, community-driven team, I'm going to do it, even if it's in Northern Ireland. So yes, I am now the owner of three different teams. So let's go Carrick Rangers. Cavs have won 14 in a row? I thought that streak had ended. Jeez. Are the Cavs going to be one of those teams that's so good that they just like lose in the first round? You know? I don't know. They're legit. What happened? I don't even want to think about it because I want the Warriors to win. But if the Rangers, if the Cavs won it all this year, like, I really want, man, part of me is like, if the Cavs won it all, I want to be in Cleveland. I want to talk to people. I want to know how they feel because like there was the whole LeBron came home and got him a championship. So them to get one like without the superstar, like with their homegrown team, I think would be so much cooler. Well, I mean, LeBron was too, but he left, so it kind of like I would think it would sour it. It would for me as a fan, but maybe not. I guess they didn't care because Cleveland had such a championship drought. But I just want to see like what the how the vibes are different because I bet it'll be different. That's crazy. Cavs are legit. You have any Aloni blood? I don't think so, no. And it's Ohlone. Murphy Avenue in Sunnyvale. I actually considered that. I have a Sunnyvale history book. There's a Sunnyvale history video I've been trying to do for a while that I need to do. I can tell you're passionate about it, it automatically makes me interested. Thanks, bro. Thank you. This is my first trip to the Bay last year. Let's go. What part of the Bay? Oh, we're international, folks. That's what I'm saying, man. I did my first international video this past year at the Hagia Sophia, and now I own a team. Come on. I will say a lot of soccer teams in Europe is not much better with billionaires controlling their sport. Yeah, but a lot of them are community funded, especially billionaires. Yeah, but a lot of the soccer teams in Europe, they're owned by the community, and that's why they still play in these little towns and they didn't move. Pronunciation? No, I get it. I get it. I'm not judging you. Just telling you. Here, can I type it? Yeah, I can type it. Typed it. That's how you spell it. Um, Alone. So the Aloni, like in the Bay Area, it's always a story. Like there's stories I want to tell about it, but I'm telling, it's so sad because they were destroyed. There's very little. There's not even that much history saved. I'm sure there is somewhere, but you gotta dig. But like, there's not a lot of information to find. It's really sad. And then some of the like Native Americans in you guys know I love my Gold Country videos. They literally just had bounties. Just go kill Native Americans to clear them off this land so that we can mine it. Um, that's how they were treated. So the Ohlone, there's not a lot left, and a lot of them were basically brought into like Mission Dolores and the mission system, um, and forcefully indoctrinated to learn English and dress Western and all that. Um, I guess not Western you would call it back then, but like you know what I mean. Um, so yeah, it's like one of those. I always want to tell those stories, but there's not a lot out there. Um, yeah, look, appreciate you guys so much. My team, thanks, man. Even though you're a LeBron fan, thanks for checking in. I appreciate you guys. Please join the Discord if you like these kinds of discussions. We're all in there with different rooms for different subjects and stuff. We share collectibles. I show like autographs I get or Bay Area throwbacks gets in there and shows his new pickups. Gamer Athletics always has updates on his stuff. Like the link is in the description. It's a fun Discord. I really want to build like a cool community of people that are just appreciative of cool stuff. And yeah, we would love to have more, just more people from all over and all that. It'd be cool. I see a lot of Loney references in Berkeley. Yeah, for sure. There's also a Loney College. So the name is used a lot. It's just like there's the history was so bulldozed. It's sad. And obviously this is the Ohlone, right? Like a lot of them lived on the coast. I'll touch on it in this upcoming video. They lived on the coast and whatnot, and they had very um what's the word? They moved around a lot and stuff like that. So like they didn't have like they didn't have too many like things that could be preserved and saved. Um, they didn't. If you think like New Mexico, they carved into the mountains and stuff. There wasn't that. So it's like there's not too many sites. There's some stuff out there. Actually, I have a cool picture um on my wall at home of I think it's the Miwok, and there's this traditional like canoe they would make out of straw. Super cool. So there is some history out there. I got to touch on it more, but it's all great stuff. Uh, besides when you get to like the massacre and the genocide and all that. um, I'm grateful for a rich owner as a Chelsea fan. We were nothing before Rome about the Club Model 3. Yeah, I could see that. I don't know if I had any family members responsible for this. It was terrible, for real. Please load up the video of Drawbridge. I want to see what's left of that place. For sure, for sure. Appreciate you, G. I'm there. I'm in there. I'm a new Giants fan. I'm in the Bay a lot now. Hell yeah, man. For sure. Wasn't Mount Umunhum on a Lonely site? Yes. If you watch my Mount Umunhum video, I did talk about some of that. Um, it was beautiful. It was they call it um what was it called? It was the hummingbird. So Umunhum means hummingbird or resting place of the hummingbird, something like that. And they would have ceremonies up there. Um, that's one video I'm so proud of. The Mount Umunhum video. I had such a fun time. We goofed off, me and my cousin, and I love that video. Guess I have Mayflower DNA. Yeah. I look, there's nobody has DNA that's clean. You know what I mean? None of us. None of us. Um, somewhere down the line we did some terrible stuff. We're humans. We're not some divine creatures. Quick Barry Bonds question? Sure, go ahead. Shoot. And then I gotta go find food. I won't do White Castle. Should I go to the strip? Should I run it up? Where are my glasses? Um, uh, huh? Am I going to the strip tonight? Huh? Are we going to the strip? What's the question? I'm waiting. I'm waiting, dude. And I gotta try to finish this Fans Fest video. Is it true that Giants knew he was on the juice, kept it quiet from MLB? I mean, I don't know, but I believe, and I think it's a pretty common belief that MLB in general, the teams, the players, the staff, the executives, the commissioner, they all knew that everyone was on the stuff. It was obvious. When I was a kid, I thought they were all on stuff, and that's why they didn't even test for it. It wasn't even illegal for a long time. They didn't test for it, and the MLB kind of looked the other way. So what the Giants did specifically, I don't know, but MLB, I 100% believe looked the other way because they were making a ridiculous amount of money on all these players hitting crazy home runs and the home run chases. And people say the steroid era saved baseball. I think that's a little hyperbolic. That's a little like much. But in 1994, there was a huge players' strike, and the season ended early. And it was a fun season. Matt Williams from the Giants was on pace to either tie or break the home run record in 94. He was playing incredible. Barry Bonds was playing incredible. The Giants were great that year. The Montreal Expos, I think, were the best team in baseball. So everyone had high hopes for them. And then the season ended. They had I think they had scabs playing too. I can't remember. They had replacement players, but the season ended early. Basically, a lot of fans were turned off by baseball. And so a couple years later, with the home run chases, Sammy Sosa, McGuire, all that, it brought the excitement back. So people like to say steroids save baseball because, the player strike and all that did a lot to damage the relationship between the league and the fans. Again, I think that's a little much to say, but they definitely capitalized on it and they made a ton of money on it. And I 100% believe they all looked the other way, and I think they all knew. I think it was an open secret. I think nobody, for the most part, most people didn't care at the time. And then once people started caring, they started going back into the archives to dig it up. And that's why, Barry Bonds never failed a test. I just think it's stupid. I just think let them do whatever. I don't care about steroids at all. I don't really consider it cheating. I consider it, I mean, there's so many advantages we don't talk about, and that's what annoys me. To act like that one thing is better than other advantages. What about the players that grew up, with a rich family and they were able to afford the best training that money could buy from 5 years old? Is that not an advantage? Is the fact that Aaron Judge is 6'6", is that not an advantage? Just like where we draw the line of like what's cheating or what's an advantage, what's this, I just don't care. And the thing is, I'd rather the players be able to take whatever supplements or whatever so that they could be healthy and they're entertaining. Let them entertain, put on a show. Now I understand it sucks when it's like, oh, someone broke the record, but it's like, yeah, LeBron's breaking all these records and nobody's athletic as him before. Does that mean his records don't count? No, his records still count. I don't I don't know. Facts. Never feel guilty about that past. All you can do is be the best you. For sure, you gotta, but you gotta recognize the past and learn from history too. Um, yeah, steroid era was a short-term boom. Expos were champions in '94. Killed the Expos. The strike did. Yep. Um, Roy's just part of the game. Anyone knows who knows ball. Tatis Jr. likes that. Yeah, look, I think most of them are on it, still on something. Look, I don't think Kobe comes back from his injury as quick as he did without some kind of steroids, HGH, something. I don't think Adrian Peterson comes back from his injury without HGH or stem cells or whatever. Just let him do it. Let him be healthy. Let him be strong. And the thing is, like, what if what if there's a steroid or a supplement that would help them have longer, not only longer careers at a high level, but also better lives after because they heal better? Wouldn't we want that? Like, what if we found out, steroids helped prevent CTE or something? Like that's a huge jump, but like, just go with me here. Like, wouldn't we want that? So I kind of feel the same thing with steroids. Like if someone has if an athlete has a shoulder injury and they use steroids to come back sooner, we win as fans because less time out, but also like they might have a better life after the sport because they healed up properly and quicker. So just let them do I just let them do it. I don't care. And the fact that like Barry Bonds and McGuire and Sosa get punished when the pitchers were also on steroids is crazy. And then you got all these racist people in the Hall of Fame. You got literal like KKK sympathizers in the Hall of Fame. You got extreme racists in the Hall of Fame that never had to play with anyone but white players. You got people that were taking greenies and methamphetamines and cocaine and all these other things that amped people up. Like it's just like where people decide to draw the line is ridiculous to me. Just there's a difference between like the Houston Astros banging trash cans, that is a much clearer difference to me than someone took a certain supplement or they were a little bit stronger or something like that. That doesn't matter to me because there's no clear line. It's not clear and it's not breaking the actual rules of the game. It's not changing the game. Um and honestly, as far as the Astro stuff, I feel like so much of what most people believe about the Astros cheating, I don't think it's true. I think it was a lot less complex than people think. I could be wrong, but when people talk about buzzer and all that, I just don't see any evidence of that. I think they were definitely maybe the pitcher was tipping pitches and then they were trying to let the player know. Um, and then I think the worst of it, if it's true, but I don't even know. It's been a while since I looked into this. I could be wrong. Like if they used videotapes, that's terrible. But to me, that's so much different than like HGH or steroids or whatever. And that Barry Bonds just used a cream or something. Like you think the cream is gonna make him suddenly hit all these home runs? Recovery in pro sports, yeah, like injury recovery prevention, all that, and that's a good thing. Do they even make you better in baseball? I think they definitely could, but like to what extent? Who knows? What and let's say let's say Barry Bonds. I'm gonna do an extreme hypothetical. Let's say Barry Bonds and Aaron Judge. Let's say they ended their careers with the same exact amount of home runs, right? There's gonna be people that be like, "Oh, but Aaron Judge did it clean." First of all, you don't know that. That's what people people talk about um when people talk about Ken Griffey Jr. Like, well, he did it clean. Like, you don't know that. They weren't testing. You have no idea. He just wasn't in a federal indictment. He very easily could have been on it. The only reason I think the best argument that he wasn't is that he was always hurt. But he still could have did it. And he just because he didn't get huge, Ryan Braun got popped and he was skinny. Like it's all the pitchers, most of them were still skinny and they were on it. So like obviously not like Roger Clemens, he got all jacked, but like you don't know if they're clean or not. So people would say, "Oh, well, Aaron Judge did it clean." First of all, you don't know that. But then also, who has the advantage when Aaron Judge is 6'6" and Barry Bonds is 6 foot 6'1"? Is that not an inherent advantage? Would you not have like a spiritual asterisk on that? Am I crazy for thinking that? Like, there's so many advantages that you can't really quantify. They're not tangible things. So why draw the line where you choose to draw the line as some random thing? Just, it's a stupid argument. Let them juice. It's like that Bill Burr argument. He said, I don't care. Just let them keep jacking home runs. I love to watch it. I hope Griffey was on the juice. I hope he was because I loved watching him. And I still have his jersey and his shoes. And I saw him at the Ricky Henderson thing and I was over the moon. I couldn't believe uh, Ken Griffey Jr. was right there. And I saw him at Rickwood Field, and I couldn't believe that Ken Griffey Jr. was standing there right in front of me. I couldn't believe it. I love him, and I hope he was juicing. What's the cost of Banchero's haircut? Mine, hundred and some dollars. I'm getting rebraided on Wednesday. This is too high though. This was supposed to be down here, but sorry. Definitely takes skill to hit the ball and square it up. Barry Bonds should be in the Hall. They should all be in the Hall of Fame because there's no clear line. That's kind of my point. Other eras did different drugs. Other eras did terrible things. Like Pete Rose leaving like he got punished, punish him. It was stupid what he did, but it was never proven that he bet on his team. So punish him, but then put him in the Hall of Fame because there's other extremely racist, terrible people in the Hall of Fame. Um, just if there's no clear line, Barry was already better than Judge pre-roids. He's way better than Judge. Didn't think about recovery. Exercise, not break down earlier in the season, begin lifting sooner after an injury. Yeah, dude, I think they should all be on it. I want to see healthy players. I think it should be mandated. I think if you're in any of the pro leagues, you should be on HGH or stem cells or whatever. I don't know. I'm not a scientist or a doctor. I don't know how it works. David Ortiz failed a drug test and he's in the Hall of Fame. So it's clearly biased. Clearly biased. David Ortiz, I'm not even going to go there. Shout out David Ortiz. Do your thing. Now I shouldn't use vegetable beef as your password? I do not know. Isn't stroganoff. Okay, you got me. So other people walking around on roids, majority just lazy. Yeah, exactly. You got a Ken Griffey Jr. signed ball? Ah, that's like next on my list. I had one saved on eBay. I was thinking, I forgot what the price was, but it was like, I'm gonna wait. But yeah, dude, I don't know if you're in the Discord or if you want to join, but if you do, I would love for you to send a picture of that ball into our Discord. I'd love to see it. That's my point of questioning if they make you better is that they don't help your timing. Without timing. I mean, you could make the argument that the roids makes you a little quicker. Fine, it made them a little better. I don't care though, because there's so many other advantages we don't talk about. Like I said, Aaron Judge is 6'6". I can't think of another ball player taller than that hit home runs. That's already a huge advantage. But for some reason, his stats are not handicapped. And the pitchers were on it too. I don't care, dude. I don't care. And look, I'm definitely biased because Barry Bonds is my favorite player. I'm definitely biased. I admit that. I'm glad though he's getting out there, and then all these like videos are coming out of like old players and pitchers saying he was the best. MLB is gonna wait for people like Barry Bonds and McGuire to die. I mean, I hope not. They already let Willie die without letting Barry in, and Willie was asking him to let him in. And honestly, McGuire is not. He wasn't that great of a player. McGuire was. He was fine. He was serviceable. But other than the dongs, he wasn't some great player. When he was younger, he was much better. But towards the end, he was just jacking up home runs. He wasn't doing too much besides that. Wherever they need to get back out there. Yeah, I want to see the best players at their best. Let them do their thing. All right, they do have some side effects, but they're adults. And then the newer steroids don't have the same terrible side effects that like the 1970s and 80s like bodybuilder steroids had, where they couldn't walk anymore, you know? And who's in the Hall of Fame probably won't get in until they're long gone. Yeah. Barry McGuire gonna go to get the Pete Rose treatment? Maybe. Sitting out for fingernails, not bad. The sauce can get your weight up. Sitting out for fingernails. I know. They're like, oh, I can't play. Yeah, that's my rant about steroids though, you know? That's my rant. Um, Look, folks, we're not dropping out of the race. We're seeing this thing through. I don't know if I'm going to the strip tonight. I don't want to. I just want something to eat and I want to edit, and then I'll start filming more stuff later. I'm really excited about the Neon Museum stuff I filmed. I can't wait to put that out probably in 2 years. Link to Discord, go get some dinner. It should be in the description. Should be in the description. I'd love for you guys to join the Discord. We have a lot of fun in there, and it'll be funner. The more people we get, the more we keep building, it'll get funner and funner. Yeah, there's a link to the Discord in there in the description. Let me see if the link still works. It does. Yes, link still works. Yeah, so check that out. You know, my favorite section in the Discord is the collectibles. So if you have collectibles, love to see them. And I can't wait to show you guys some of the stuff I got while I was gone. But yeah, appreciate you guys. Something or other tours, not variety. Like, subscribe, share, do all the cool things cool kids do. Vertlife forever and ever. I don't have it, but I will announce more about the shirts and stuff like that. I really hope people like them. I'm really proud of them. I wore one to Fan Fest yesterday, and I got compliments, and people are like, "Where'd you get that shirt?" And I'm like, "I made it, buddy. I made this." So yeah, can't wait. Sophie, hope you have a good week. Thank you, man. Let's play Madden 25 Players Lounge. You can do that. I don't have Madden 25 though, unfortunately. Super long stream, dude. Super long stream. All right, appreciate you guys. Love you. Bye. And Vertlife. I'll be back home soon.